Everyone got a drink. Everyone emptied their bladders.
I'm good.
No, but you should hurry up because I'm filling mine back up.
Drink or bladder?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just a hose.
It's just a Mobius strip of drinking.
You
you know,
telling
like-
me you've never had a bottle of water while you were actively peeing?
Well, no, I have a whole filtration system. It's like the International Space Station.
You drink the water, and then 30 minutes later, you undrink the water.
You're just a really long straw.
The original flossing. All right.
Please move along.
Well, before we go, how many holes does a straw have? 1 or 2? Anyway,
2.
moving on.
Yep.
No
One long
context.
hole.
Oh my god. Oh, shit. This is what happens when I hang out with you guys. Is you say something and then that reminds me of another thing. And then I feel like I need to share it. Just because I watched a video recently that was a breakdown of the entire Final Destination movie series. And the quote that always stands out in my mind is, and then the slushy spills on the power outlet, which causes it to spark. And you know, in this universe, you know what happens when electronics get wet? That's right. They become stronger.
Yes.
Water makes electricity stronger.
Yes, I've seen that review. I don't remember reading it.
Yeah. A really exhausted looking British guy. Anyway, who wants to do a recap of last time?
Behind the troglodyte horde was a slave hunting party of drow that Nolgrim tried to stand at diplomacy by saying, well, if they want to scour our lands for escaped slaves, we'll send an escort along with you. They ultimately decide to just depart, saying that if we find the slaves, to let them know. Kingdom building actions. I remember a massive parade that, while well received, didn't quite complete the objective of unifying the nation to some degree, because what was the gossip that got out? The letter from the matriarch, drow matriarch.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The queen of
Yeah.
Drow offering to send a diplomatic envoy.
Mm. Fortunately, it was delayed till after the moot that's forming to decide if Fergus should remain king or if his brother has claim to the throne.
Yeah, it's determining who has stronger claim.
Mm. That's all I got. Anybody else?
Freya took a trip to the fungal jungle.
I've just been hobnobbing with people and
Yes,
dwarves.
the deep gnomes and big spiders are friends now. They're making out or whatever down there. Or at
You know what
least that's I
Dryders are? Imagine a more peaceful version of them. That's what we're gonna get here shortly.
I've seen your internet search history. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Listen, Baldur's Gate 3 awoke a few things in certain people.
A few things and in certain people.
Yes. No context is needed. Moving on.
And literally hornier than the Pathfinder RPGs where you get a literal succubus as a companion character. All right, so I moved you guys to the dashboard there so you can see it, but I'm going to ask the question, a nice simple one this week. What is your nightly routine? Like, what do you do before going to bed? Oh yeah, and don't forget you also tamed those deep moose last session.
Oh yeah. And built a stable
Beast.
to the military academy, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Nightly routine. Trying to think.
We figured out gem tech and stuff last time as well. Because that's what I went to the fungal jungle for, was to get help with gem tech.
Also seems like I don't recall there being the tunnel goats ranch thing.
Oh yeah, the tunnel goat. So I let Loki build light cavalry, and I'm like, well, those wouldn't be moose; they'd be like goat. And then after the session, after we hung up the call, I realized I never figured out. Asked you guys where you were getting the goats from for your light cavalry, but you already built it. So I'm like, Helmengard brought their flock of mountain dwelling tunnel goats, and they sell them to you. Okay, there we go. That's
tunnel goats.
That's a me faux pas, not a you faux pas. So I wasn't gonna make you suffer for it. Anyway, nightly routine.
I see Nolgrim settling down for just a light read with an ale, just lounging in a chair, like a cushion chair or something, just reading the night away for a little bit before dozing off in his chambers.
All right.
Ferguson probably plays flute a little bit, followed by a late night snack of some wine and whatever sticky dessert he can get his whole hands on. Like, like cinnamon rolls, like flan is one of them I could think of.
Very
Overly
proud of
sweet
you.
stuff.
I'm very Picard of you.
What'd you say?
I said, how very Picard of you.
Listen, he's not gonna. He won't get shamed from the dwarves in the hall if he drinks the wine in his own private time. Okay.
So before I answer, question for the party: where is the nut that cracks Bindrak will come back?
It is locked in the chambers that can only be accessible through the air.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, according to my notes, it is currently residing within the vault in the palace that can only be opened by people of the royal bloodline in a chest that Fergus locked with an arcane lock.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I would also add that I probably would have commissioned at one point some chains just to wrap around it just for extra measure.
Yeah, there was also some talk about Freya possibly creating a special magical adamantine orb that it's contained within. I don't know if that ever got anywhere.
I don't think that ever got anywhere.
We haven't launched that yet.
You got access
more
to
important
adamantine
things.
now, at least.
In that case, probably just check up wherever I'm. I probably keep the crown pretty close to me, but just check up on the crown, make sure that it's still accounted for and everything, and then
My precious.
pray to Father Mountain and Mother Fire for guidance on the reassembling of the ancestors, and probably hit the hay.
Cool. Duchess leaves Taskell and Thrum.
Does Thrum just get stoned?
Yeah, basically.
Or does he get his rocks off?
Now that he enjoys the trappings of civilization, he drinks until he's in a meditative state, and then wanders around until he finds a place where he wants to stop and stare at And since no one can really tell what's going on inside that right body, he usually just passes out where he's standing.
He drinks until he's in a meditative state. I feel like you can
Drunk.
sell that T-shirt.
I feel like that's
All
a
right.
excuse you used on your wife a
Drink,
few times.
drunk meditation and passes out in street.
I imagine the locals think he's
Standing.
like a gargoyle. Like at night, he just turns to a statue.
No, it's
I
an
don't know.
ancient martial arts technique. Sleeping bum.
I don't know what that captain of the guard stares at all night, but he stands there and keeps watch.
What you doing?
Somebody fell down.
Mhm.
All right, who thinks they're muted?
Michael, probably.
All right. Yeah, no, I did think I was muted, but I dropped my headphones, so I had to pick it back up.
Ah. So that just leaves
Yeah.
Taskell.
Probably the most days, last thing he does at work is a couple hour or two of smithing practice just to keep sharp.
Mhm.
And then goes home to get clean, have dinner, maybe get dirty working on a sibling for Freya, and then sleep.
All right, Smith, Bath, fuck.
Yowzers.
Got it. Celibacy is not required in any dwarven religion, which they take full advantage of.
There was a dwarven religion very briefly that promoted sobriety, but that didn't last long.
Yeah.
I've been in my off time working on a layout for just like what I want the campus of the Runework College to be. And one of the buildings I got worked out right now is definitely entrance hall, second floor, library, third floor, tavern.
Tavern over the
And
library.
the tavern is called the Sip and Scroll. Yeah, that just reminded me of that. I was like, dwarves definitely seem like the type to more intellectualize when they're drunk. Beards and nobles, that's good.
All right. So we are at the start of year 5, season 1. All right, quick drink of water. I'll get into the narration. So we start in a scene of darkness. A narrow, dark cave. And we know this because a single coin with the light spell cast on it falls down, pings off the wall, and keeps going, illuminating a long, narrow, semi-natural shaft. As our camera pans up, we see two faces staring down in the hole. One is Freya, and next to her is a dwarf that we've met in brief, which is, let me check his notes, because I've got 2 notebooks, so I need to keep switching. Pardon the interruption. Gulnir Gnome Friend. He's a dwarven artificer that works down at the heart of the mountain, clearing out the construction there. He's holding a lantern over the hole and explaining, the miners who were clearing up the territory found this the other day. We're not exactly sure how far it goes, Forge Thane. It seems to be narrow in some spots, but at its widest, it's only barely big enough for a dwarf to fit shoulder to shoulder. The interesting bit is if you see how the light catches down there, you notice those objects sticking out of the walls. Well, those are iron pittons used for, like, climbing. He managed to get one out, had some artificers work it over. Judging by the decay of the iron and the alloy, it may be 350 years old since this was last used when those were put there. Working theory is this is how the Lich got into Dammerhall.
Interesting theory.
It's definitely an exit
Either way,
they
it's something that's going to be need to. It's just a hole.
Aye,
Like what's
vertical
was
shaft
asking,
going
yeah.
straight down into the.
straight
It's the
down?
Bendrak hole.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, yeah. But I mean, it's not. I'm not literally looking at the hole that Vinger created when we sent him down there, right?
No,
Okay,
that was all
I'm just making
magic.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, in that case, I'll just say, should have my father come look at this. He'll be more versed in things of history like this. Nolgrim as well. I know him to be very intelligent on these things. Either way, it's something that's going to have to be investigated. I don't recommend anyone track down there until one of us look at it.
We've been having a couple guards on it, and we've been putting any gestures towards like a large circular stone. We've been sliding that cap over it after we found it, just to make sure nothing gets through.
Indeed, better to be safe than sorry.
Indeed. And with that, Freya, you've got a meeting of the Council of Idiots to get to, but you just got called to this first.
Okay, cool. Then I'll
Of
just tell
course,
them.
do you say that was at the Unknown Ruins, or where was that at?
That was down near the heart of the mountain within Dammerhall itself.
Ah, I gotcha.
Before I leave, I will hit it with a detect magic.
The hole?
Yeah,
Non-magical.
cool. And I'm guessing that means also the pittance that were placed in unmagical.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. Then go into my meeting with the council.
All right.
I'll address it there.
You arrive just a couple minutes past the opening of the meeting. Everyone's gathered around. I assume a large circular table, unless Fergus goes for the long table so he can be at the head of it. Up to him.
And it'd probably just be round.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems his vibe.
Yeah.
We're all equally idiotic here.
Yeah.
It's the round table symbolizes their one brain cell used to make all decisions.
One
You
day
see this?
he has some
The
artisans
smooth-
come in and put in high chairs in each spot for the High Council of Idiots to sit in.
You see
The High
the
Council of
smooth
Idiots. Now we're
edges-
high.
Yes.
See, the smooth edges of the table symbolize the smoothness of the brains of everyone. The amount of taxpayer money Fergus has put into this bit is truly distressing.
And yet you don't hear too many people complaining so much.
Yep. Currently, Thyris Tempersteel, the accountant, the vault warden, currently has the floor and he's talking. Fergus, you got a big list of papers in front of you that is just like a bunch of missives and letters of all the different clan heads and the representatives that are coming for the moot.
Mhm.
Thyris is speaking about the moot itself, just kind of to everyone, saying, "Now then, I can be reasonably sure that Pascal and some of you perhaps already know how moots work, but I'll cover the basics. The representatives or the clan heads themselves will be arriving over the next couple of months. To wit, they will gather here and go over evidence and testimony on whether or not Fergus's, His Majesty's, claim to the throne is as strong as his brother."
As far as I'm concerned, the only evidence we need is this, and I just
Mm,
clamp my axe down on the table.
mm.
And he is about 5 years late to take the throne for himself.
I mean,
Yeah,
his
that
only
opportunity.
claim to the throne is the fact that he's fucking married to one person from one of the clans. He didn't do anything
And-
himself. He just married into wealth.
And he's also claiming that he is older than you. As you are twin brothers, this is a matter that is very difficult to verify. However, you have been a part of the band of heroes that were claimed at Dammerhall, giving you claim to the throne by both blood and by deed. There will probably be a few others claiming the throne as well, but no one else will have as strong of a tie. You're
Swear to God, if I find out I have a sister in this mood, I'm going to lose it.
The important thing to remember as we go into the politics of this is that this is not a criminal trial. Fergus says His Majesty is not being brought before a tribunal for any wrongdoings. If worst case scenario from our standpoint and the Moot clan heads find his brother Tomas more fitting for the throne, he will be asked to abdicate. And if he does, then he will retire to the status of nearly a legendary hero of the dwarven people.
Nearly.
Exactly. Now, while every clan does get a say in most things involving dwarven politics, it is truly the words of the great clans that will carry the most weight. Now, Clan Hallforged's voice will not carry as much in this matter as you are a dwarf of Clan Hallforged upon the throne. Several clans do operate here within Dammerhall now, which gives us a start, but they have not sworn any oaths to your rulership. So you cannot entirely depend on them siding with you entirely.
Fair.
Well, I've got an idea on how to get at least one of them on our side.
As he's explaining this, Fergus, you're like sorting through the papers about a bunch of names that you don't know of people who are going to be attending.
Mm-hmm.
You do, however, notice a wax sealed letter that is different from the rest, as the wax seal on it has no like ring press in it. It's literally just a melted and dried glob of wax. You flip it over and look at its from, and it says from Captain Ortiz, which is Iago's last name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at it.
In brief, 1 second. Why can I never remember this person's name? This is why I create cheat sheets of characters' names, then I forget where I put the cheat sheets. But it is a letter from Iago saying that he has found your former fiance. And he has extended the invitation to her to travel to Dammerhall, which she has accepted. And he's worked with some contacts within the merchant caravan, and she is making her way towards you.
So all the council do just sees Fergus kind of fist bump the air as he's reading to himself.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at everybody after he does that. He's like, don't worry about it. And just lifts his hat up, puts the letter in there, continues on with business.
It's been a while since I've seen him give any indication of being happy like that.
That's what Dammerhall does to a dwarf.
Hear, hear.
Should I be concerned that I'm finding me and Thrum are siding with each other more often now? Is that something I should be worried about? Because I feel like I should be worried about this.
Boy, it was bound to happen sooner or later. This place will have its effects on anyone. You can't resist it. You're becoming what you were meant to be.
1,000-yard stare, straight through Thrum.
What am I?
There's this
You're a
fucking
dwarf.
there's this fucking meme picture of a cat that looks like it has its hand on another cat's shoulder, kind of doing like a 1,000-yard stare. I'm not sure if anyone's ever seen that one, but that's all I can think of when I see him looking at Thrum. Anyway, he would wait until the meeting was done and pull aside the people that actually traveled with him and know about this.
Yeah. Thyros has one final thing about the moot. The only other thing that we will need to decide beforehand is traditionally a moot like this has a role, like a master of ceremony, one who designates who's allowed to have the floor and to speak. Traditionally, the king of whoever his hold is hosting the moot would fill that role. But seeing as His Majesty is the one as the topic of the moot, we will need to select someone else.
Fergus's first thought would be to look over to Taskell, since he's the leader of the church. Like, well, multiple churches, really. And since that carries so much weight with the dwarves. Like, if anyone's going to be a good master of ceremonies, it'd probably be him.
We'll strive to do my best.
But that is the last that Cyrus has on the moot, and he sees the rest of his time at the meeting there.
Yeah, before he goes off, Fergus just tells him, like, I'm going to regret saying this, but I think I'm going to need a suit of ceremonial armor. I feel like I should probably present a good foot forward now. And as much as I like this armor that I normally wear, I probably should just go the full 9 yards. So get it together.
He's growing up.
He just points at Thrum. I am not wearing this to war, though.
Growing up.
Is there anything else the rest of us can do to help maintain the throne for Fergus?
Yeah, it would largely depend on how well you are at working with the other clans. Certainly making sure that there's nothing that Tomas can use as ammunition against Fergus to try to argue that he's unfit. This is why I spoke up about the diplomatic message from the Drow Queen.
Well, that ship sailed long ago. It's getting better.
I mean, we're not currently hostile with the Drow, right?
No.
Not currently.
No more so than, normal.
Yeah.
I can fix that.
Well, I'm sure you could. But
I'm currently working on weapons in the event that we need to fight cloud giants. I'll need to know if I need to shift my viewpoint towards Drow. Then again, it could always be nice to try out some of these on some Drow.
No, what we do is we make a teleporter. We launch it at the cloud giants and teleport them directly into the heart of the Drow kingdom.
There you go.
Of
Solves
course,
two problems at once.
I don't intend to just immediately go to war with the cloud giants. I have a whole offer I'm planning to give them, but I'm not optimistic at their insistence to have dwarves not live on the peaks, even though no cloud giants live there.
Seems to me we're just ruining their scenery.
Which is why I'm going to give them a gift. And then if they don't accept it, that's just, it'll be how they want it to be.
It's 5 years in, we're already getting ready for war.
Start. Are we 5 years in?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. 5 years in.
Shit.
It's been multiple years longer than your entire journey to reclaim Dammerhall at this point.
Thrum has a definite gut at this point.
It's just spilling out from between the rocks.
Yeah, it's much
unpleasant to look at.
Much more obese than he used to be.
I like to imagine that every time that Thrum uses his immolated form, it just burns off excess body weight, so he just immediately slims out again in a fair way.
He's like, I'm gonna need to go molt in this fight.
Immediately burns
Someone
like
hand me the sweet roll.
30,000 calories.
But yeah, when the master of merchants leaves, Fergus would inform the rest of them that he's gotten word that his former fiance has taken it up on his offer to join him here, so she should be arriving sometime soon.
Glad I'll finally get to meet her.
I swear to God, if any of you embarrass me, I will have you executed.
Oh,
Not
son,
really,
you embarrass
But
yourself.
socially, I'll have you executed.
All right, Fergus, we're gonna have to make the decision of how much we're gonna tell her here about our adventure.
Well, I mean, probably just keep out the things about, the things that stay between us.
The fact that you're in
and-
love with that deep gnome. Sorry, what were you saying?
Wait, what?
God,
I don't know.
need
I don't know
another
many deep gnomes. So, anyway,
We'll just
Just
go ahead and
willfully
assume
ignorant
that
at this
Ivy's not in the room.
yeah, no, yeah, shooting in the eye in the room too. Fergus is just being willfully ignorant at this point.
Wait, so
Anyways,
she was
yeah,
in
you're
the
gonna
room
have
for
to-
that?
Assuming we're the only ones in the room, I'll just say you're gonna have to decide whether or not you want to tell your fiance, right? Girlfriend. Yeah, you're gonna have to
Wasn't
decide if you
fiance,
want
I
to tell her
assume
the
still.
whole truth about Bendrak and all that.
I
I
believe
wonder.
I am not going to tell any. I don't even want to even speak his name. So how about we
Yeah.
just drop it?
Well, Fergus, they do say the best relationships are built on secrets.
I think this is one that's best kept from everybody.
I don't disagree. I'm just thinking, why are you inviting your girlfriend? We got lots of work to do, but yeah, I guess you can. You're the
I mean, aren't you the people that have been bugging me about heirs and marriage and stuff?
I haven't said a word about that.
I meant you as dwarves. You're all the same to me.
You, it's dwarves.
racist.
We're relegated to you people. We've come a long way.
Well, not you, Gnolgrim. You're special.
Oh, thank you.
You idiot.
We're all idiots here.
Listen,
So
the
we're
king
right
is
there on
allowed
the
to have
table.
favorites. Okay?
Proudly.
Anyways, I'm going to the library to go research your defense, Fergus.
Cool, thanks.
Sorry, I'm just laughing about Fergus saying all you dwarves are the same to me. And I just had this mental image of Joe Biden at the State of the Union being like, I don't know, all white people look the same to me.
I mean, he's almost said worse things, actually, in real life.
I know.
If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Oh, boy. Oh, Joe.
All right. So,
Anyways, Fergus ain't that old yet. He got hit with the old Ray, but he ain't that old yet.
But then I drank the
And
young
I think
juice.
you undid the old Ray with the ambrosia, so now you kind of evened it out to back where you're supposed to be.
He's still hip.
Hello,
yeah.
how do you do, fellow kids?
all right. So, unless there's any role play stuff you guys wish to cover, we can do kingdom actions. Because you got the moot is next season.
Would researching that defense be a kingdom action, or would that be something separate?
That
'Cause
would
all I
probably
basically
be
wanna-
more- Oh, go ahead.
I'm basically just wanting to look to see if throughout Dwarven history, research like kings that have earned the throne rather than just inherit it. Especially looking into things like if we have any information on like the first Dwarven kings or whatever.
Yeah, that won't have to be an action. I could just give that to you. Most of the dwarven kings that inherited a throne earned a throne without inheriting it, they usually founded the dwarven holds themselves. For example, Durin Trinehammer is the dwarf first king of Dammerhall who built Dammerhall. So he just got to put a crown on his head.
So exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. The dwarves have a thing where they usually give more preference to firstborn children, regardless of gender. And also, there is a kind of long-standing dwarven tradition is that if there is a contest for the throne, if one of the people at the throne are assassinated under mysterious circumstances, then every potential contender for the throne is considered ineligible, and they'll have to find someone new. It's sort of like a legal defense to stop people from Game of Thronesing each other to claim it. As you can imagine, there's plenty of exploits in there too, but I ask you to find a perfect system.
Well, yeah. I mean, the obvious exploit there is that the king can kill whoever they want.
That, or if you're outside of the vying for the throne, you kill those people, and then now you're in new contention for the throne.
Like, technically, under these
Yeah,
rules,
exactly.
we could go hire an assassin, or have one of us go kill Fergus's brother, and then we'd be a-okay under dwarf tradition because he's the king. But if it were the other way around, we'd be fucked up.
It would still be held under suspicion.
Indeed.
But yeah, that's not
Cool.
that's not a kingdom act.
That's basically what I wanted to know.
Yep.
And for my kingdom action, I'm gonna start construction on one of those machines I sent you.
Cool. You're just building one like a prototype?
Yeah.
All right. So this will be a pretty easy one. This is just going to be a 2d6 difficulty for you. I'm going to add an additional d6 for the economy, but other than that, so this would be your dice. I would say you could use industry, and you can probably assemble a pretty sizable dice pool for this one.
Yep. D8 from industry, and then gym tech is going to be a D4. Just going through these.
You had Clan Emberbane and Forge Sworn.
Yeah, Clan Emberbane and Forge Sworn. I got on payroll or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then all my organizations. Runework College is another D8.
Mm-hmm.
Heart of the Mountain.
Yeah, that could be helpful. Also, your gem mine.
Indeed. Gem mine. Is there another D8?
Hey, you're pretty stacked for this test.
Yeah, that's what I've been working towards here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. What's Forge Fane?
That's a big area where dwarves do a lot of smithing, so you could include that one because it's kind of like an industrial hub.
Cool.
All right, so looks like 12. So best case scenario, I tie you, which I definitively do not. So by the end of the season, you will have your prototype.
Yippee!
All right.
I forget. What did I had Ivy do something last time we played. Do you have that written down, or did I forget it?
I thought she was just exploring some territories.
That's right. Yeah. I know what Fergus is going to do. He's going to start getting people to work on the secondary outer city on the outside of Dammerhall down the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like a trade center for the dwarves to trade with people from outside, and also set up like a home for people who want to be part of the Dammerhall at large, but obviously are not the dark dwelling races.
Right. This is what you were bargaining with the Duke about, right?
Yes.
So you've received no word about that after that conversation.
Nope. Gonna try it anyway, though.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So what do I need to roll for that? Because I assume it would be my die.
It would be your die, and you're physically constructing it, right?
Yeah, I'd be helping, but also like supervising and like
Well, yeah, no, I was
trying
talking
to
about
like
Kingdom
trying to
Action.
get it
Just-
to like, for lack of a better term, advertise to get people to come into this area because there's adventurers here and stuff, but we also are trying to attract merchants and all that
right.
stuff.
No, I was trying to say you can use your industry since you're physically constructing a town.
Gotcha.
What I was trying to get
Sorry,
at.
my bad.
No worries.
I think I could probably leverage that human trade deal.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone mind if I try to use that trade stockpile? Or do you want to say
I'm
that?
self-sufficient at this point. Doesn't matter to me.
Go for it.
I'd say I could probably utilize the Adventurers Guild because they can help get word out. But that's up to you, whether you think that would be working or not.
Probably at this phase, you're more just physically constructing buildings more than trying to attract people.
That's fine. So, yeah, trade
Would-
stockpile, human
would
trade
the-
deal.
Deep Moose Herd be able to help with like the heavy lifting and transportation of like heavy materials?
I was just gonna say I could probably use the heart of the Forge Fane too to have them start constructing things and stuff for me that we need
Yeah,
to
definitely
like.
the Forge Fan.
Yeah, so that's good. I think that's 5 different die I can add total.
The deep moose could be helpful underground. Transporting heavy things might get a little easier with the tech tree I just unlocked.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this
I'll
is going to
definitely
be
use
a
those 2 8s.
2d10 with a d8 from your civic stress. So that's 12. So you do progress it.
And I have a D10 kicker, so.
All right. So let me do a thingamagobber here. Did you have a name planned for this little town?
I didn't. I could probably come up with it next time. My brain just
Okay.
doesn't work on the fly.
The Shire.
All right. So it's still just a small town, so it's only a D4.
Mm-hmm.
But at its current size, due to its small, it's not going to increase your budget yet.
Gotcha.
But you can perform further action in the future to further expand it and build it out, turn it into a real trade hub, which will increase its dice size, and also you'll have to put some money into it, since you're not like partitioning it out to another clan.
I was
better than
just
what I
about
was
to
thinking
suggest that one.
I was thinking of Fergvania, but Fergberg's
I like
better.
Fergberg's good.
I'm not going to name it that. But that's fine.
We'll get them next time.
I mean, Frey is more than welcome to try to make a pop-up campaign to get it forcefully named that.
Here's my PowerPoint campaign. Why it should be Fergberg.
I think Nolgrim would like to make a expedition to explore and use his historical knowledge to examine the ruins.
Okay. So there's no rule necessary for that. We'll resolve that at the end of the season. Everyone else.
What is Ivy doing?
I haven't had to do anything in particular, so I'm just going to have to explore if no one else has any ideas for it.
Yeah, I'm curious about what's in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was either saying either that or find out what's in this little T shape, because we never did find out that.
Yeah, we need to look in that hole before we start the next
Yeah, that's fine.
season.
Yeah. Actually, that'd probably be a good one. Thinking I will try to reduce some economic stress and try to do that by, generally increasing the supply of finished goods we have to sell.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember last session how all of us tried our damnedest to lower that civic stress, and none of us could get any traction.
So I was just
Just
posting.
wait for this, baby.
Then I realized human trade deal would probably be a good addition to the dice pool there. Got
Also, probably that new Outer Town. But I guess that's not this.
That's
Yeah,
end
that
of the
won't
season.
apply
Yeah.
yet.
I thought of that as soon as I said it.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm using the Commerce, Fire Temple, Heart of the Mountain, not the trade deal. 5 dice, probably enough. But
Yeah. So it's going to be a difficulty of 2d6 you're going up against. So.
yeah,
And you
16.
succeed in reducing it a step. Huzzah.
A D10 of this. Yeah. Probably shouldn't be that easy to take down strengths.
Yeah, exactly. These, unlike building things like military units, reducing stress is just if you are greater, then it reduces 1 step.
Like Thrum has something to pick out.
Yep.
So it's
Going to try and reduce that civic stress.
all right. Taking another crack at it. What are you doing to try to reduce the civic stress?
Yeah,
Putting up more
baby.
cones?
Try his hand at urban planning again.
I think I'm going to have my TSA agents just be overly friendly and start
Community
making
outreach.
community outreach. Now that things have kind of ironed themselves out a good bit, let's start helping the people. Take some cats out of
I'm
trees
having to
and
fight
stuff.
off the bad jokes right now. The real bad jokes.
Yep.
It'll get me fired. so let's continue.
Yep.
I just had to let it be known, or else it would come out.
So over the last half year, Thrum has made all the crosswalks diagonal through the center of the four-way intersection, and now he's sending the TSA door to door like Jehovah's Witness.
Any services we can provide to you?
Get away from me, you freak!
I don't mind accepting payments in other ways.
Oh God!
Complimentary body cavity search. What?
So industry.
Wait, why the hell have you been asking me
This
to
would
take
be
off
it.
my
This would be-
shoes?
Influence, I would say, not industry.
It's the oldest profession in the world. Dwarf population.
No, this isn't something that's very particular to the dwarves.
Yeah, I don't see anything in distinctions that would help.
It's Thrum
assets.
security.
Thrum's pillars.
Yeah, you could use your pillars. You said you were sending them out, so.
Yep. Definitely moose herd. All right, here we go.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, that did it. You reduced it by
Shaking
1 step.
hands, kissing babies, talking about the goodness of Fergus.
Now,
Have you heard about our King and Savior?
I prefer kissing hands and shaking babies.
Yes, and talking about the goodness of Fergus. Damn it, son, listen to me.
Well, dwarf babies, you need to shake them a little bit. They don't turn out quite right if you don't.
Right.
Give them use that drunken sway early on before they could drink.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Also,
Some say that if you don't shake a dwarf enough as a baby, that's how you get gnomes.
Oh God! All right, double time it. Shake them all again.
Get all the bartenders.
Well, that was also a joke from the movie Black Dynamite, where he goes to the orphanage and the orphanages are asking him for money so that way they can buy drugs for themselves. He goes, "No, I won't let this addiction take you. I'll get this addiction out of you, even if I have to beat it out of you." And the lady running the orphanage, "No, we already tried that." I'm like, "What?" Right, tried just kicking the shit out of children. Okay, what's Ivy doing?
Probably just exploring.
Yeah.
This empty space up here.
All right.
Listen, it's been 5 years. Fergus needed a break from schmoozing with people, so he's like, I'm just going to build a town. That seems more sane than talking to dwarves.
Is it just that one square?
No, I'm
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I
Oh.
gotcha.
yeah, I need to. I have different tiles laid out here for how you reveal them, and I need to redo them because I did them a little bit wonky before. But for now, it continues that direction.
Gotcha.
All right, and now, just a moment here.
We are going to go check out that hole before the end of the season, I think.
Yeah, because I know Nilgrim said he was writing out to go check out the unknown ruins.
Mhm.
So I'm just. Yeah. We'll deal with that one first. So when you're going to explore these ruins, how heavy do you roll, Nilgrim? Like, how many people do you bring with you?
How many people is the goat cavalry? The light goat cavalry?
100.
Probably just 20.
Yeah, you can see your army over here. I added the
Mhm.
goat cavalry unit. Also, I added this little token thing. It says first
Okay.
army, and then first army there, so you can just.
Yeah, perfect.
Meanwhile, all the poor dwarven farmers that have to take care of these goats while you're gone are like, you sure you don't want to take all 100?
Yeah.
You look like you're driving a little light.
You ride up on these ruins. It looks like this used to be some ancient Durgar settlement of some size, but it seems to have fallen into disrepair. It's pretty still. You don't pick up on any motion here. Are you gonna take all 20 riders in with you? Because you're gonna have to dismount to go inside.
I would take 10 with me and leave 10 outside.
Mhm.
Make sure each has like signal horns.
Mm-hmm.
And at the notion of Durgar, he would Durgar ruins. He would also make known to just keep an eye out for anything that might be invisible.
We would, but King Fergus insisted on these signal flutes.
This is definitely that part of that TV show where you're like, all right, Durgar often are very good at concealing themselves, so keep your eye out for anything invisible. And you go in, and your soldier's like, yes, sir. And he looks to his other buddy, and they're like, I don't know, just go. Yeah, I'll let you know if I see anything invisible. The large hung stone front gates of this place, the doors seem smashed in from the outside a long time ago. You probably haven't spent a lot of time in Dergar architecture. It is very similar to dwarves, but it's different. The hallways are a little narrower. They're taller, very much like Catholic architecture in that it's designed to try to make you feel small. Most things don't have the fine ornamentation of the dwarven architecture, but there is a sort of artistry to it, but it's brutalist, designed for defense. Stone corners sharpened to be ready to drive someone into, as if the walls are a weapon. The angles of some of the structures are slanted in a way to deflect siege equipment fire. A high focus on militarization. As you're progressing, give me a investigation. All right. As you're fanning out and looking, the initial hallway entranceway that was used to defend it gives way to a large, like, internal structure where it's not a dome, but there is like a capped roof on this space, and then there's buildings within it. As you're looking around, you do notice upon the stone floors that have gotten stone dust on it, tracks and footprints. A few that could perhaps have at one point been Derogar. But you also see the split talons of lizard folk, small feet that perhaps belong to Sivneblin, the deep gnomes, and also the dainty strides of perhaps what a commit drow.
So, is that the makeup of the slave group that they were told to keep an eye out for?
You were never told what the makeup of the slave group was.
I thought we did, because I thought my character asked, what slaves
He just
are
said
you
no
hunting?
dwarves. You don't have
Okay.
to worry about that. Is
I
all
gotcha.
that slave lady told you.
Okay.
But the thing is, with that 20 investigation, these prints are fairly fresh.
Does it look like there's a lot of them, or just a small band?
Give me a survival. Difficult to tell.
Yeah.
You hit a 1 exactly. That's kind of like, it's rare that you see a 1 that isn't a natural 1.
Right. Okay. And
Funny
if it makes a difference of, what you're revealing about this place, I do have that as my background feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The actual construction, while this doesn't necessarily help with the footprints, the actual construction of this place, this looks like it was some sort of Derogar keep. Definitely like supposed to be like a military strong point. Lots of buildings and storehouses designed so that we could sustain underneath a prolonged siege. Something got in here and took care of them, though. You're not sure what. One of your soldiers calls out to you saying that he found something. And when you reach to him, he's in a building, and he's pointing that there are 2 shroomwood barrels that are definitely not as old as the rest of these structures. Because, my thing, I think I recognize these barrels. He spins them around, and they've got the Forge Sworn clan emblem burnt into the wood. These were some of the casks that went missing. We thought it was troglodyte bandits.
Well, looks like we got thieves among the ruins. So, how big is the space? Is it like? It's not like a building. It's more of like a small city, right? Is that what?
Yeah, imagine like 3 shopping malls crammed together, or I guess just. Man, I would have context for these, but you wouldn't. Look up the square footage of the Mall of America.
Okay.
Because that is like a 4-story structure that has a large dome center pit where they fit an entire amusement park. It really is just like a city.
Okay, 5.6 million square feet. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's
it's big, but you can still cross it reasonably.
Okay.
The barrels, however, are empty. If you're starting to reconvene with some of your soldiers, you do notice that 2 of the riders that you came in here with are missing.
Shite. All right, everybody group up, be under guard. See if we can find the other 2 that are missing. Look at the cask. What did you say that they contained?
You don't know. They're empty now. Give me a flat intelligence check to see if you remember what the reports were from the stuff that went missing from those Troglodyte bandits like 2 years ago. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was one of those things where you mentally just kind of wrote it off at the time.
Okay. All right. I need a sec to think out a character for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll, as a group of the main 18, I'm sticking together. Want to try to find the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sort of search, or would
I
that
would
be
let you use
perception, investigation?
Perception or investigation. You
Okay.
dealer's choice there.
Actually, is it too
Okay.
late to use bless on myself?
Oh, you go ahead and roll that.
Right. So 16.
Okay. As you are sticking together and searching the area, you, though it is very soft, hear the scraping sound of footsteps on dust. And rounding a corner in the darkness, you just catch what could easily be mistaken for a wisp of shadow, but you swear it was a cloak of dark color rounding a corner up ahead.
So I'm feeling a loss without my usual adventuring party.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will go ahead and cast Shield of Faith on myself and close in the distance there. Instructing, taking 3 with me and having the others kind of remain alert.
Yeah. Sorry, say again. So you're taking 3 with you and leaving the other 5 at your current location?
Oh, I thought I went back for the full group.
I assumed there were still just 10 outside.
Yeah. No, I'll take the full group. Yeah, I'll leave the 5 there. Take 3 with me, and approach the corner.
All right. It goes down a narrow alley that widens out into a cul-de-sac, not quite a cul-de-sac, but like a plaza in between several buildings. What perhaps would have metal clotheslines strung between them. The gloom seems extra heavy here, but you do notice that there is a single figure back to you, black cloak up, hood over their head, crouching down, scraping at the ground in the near center of the plaza.
How far away is he?
Probably about 20 feet.
All right. Hail, who goes there?
No response.
Nogren will gesture to his 3 escorts to remain as he starts walking 10 feet forward. Checking the ground along the way, or I guess checking for any signs of an ambush or traps or anything that's designed to catch me off guard as I'm approaching this figure.
Perception. All right. As you're approaching this figure, you're glancing about. This plaza, it seems extra gloomy somehow. You've been in a great number of supernatural places. The gloom feels oppressive. But you don't get that same sense of dread, yet it seems like your dark vision isn't going quite as far as you'd think. It's a little rough. But with that 15 perception, you realize why is because there is several people that are lingering at the edge of your dark vision, using nooks and crannies and covers, all wearing the same dark, like black leathered cloaks, explicitly so where they can blend in at the edges of the black and white of dark vision. And as you are in the plaza, they are shifting and moving and circling to close in the gap behind you. And around when you are 10 feet away from the figure, they begin to reveal themselves as you start seeing the points of crossbows and daggers coming out. No longer hiding themselves, you hear a rustle as several crossbows poke out of windows around you, and you are probably surrounded by maybe 40 people.
Okay.
Looking around, you start to get a view of their faces, and it is a surprisingly eclectic bunch. You see a couple kobolds, a lizard folk, a deep gnome, what at first you thought is some sort of devil, but is actually kind of like a drow, but with horns. Give put you in the mind of a tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
And most strange of all are humanoids that are pale skinned and they're muscular, but in more of like a lanky snake like way, which takes you a full like 40 seconds to register that they're half orcs, but rather than half orc, half human, they're half drow, half orc. The figure in the center wheels around with their own crossbow, backing up another 10 feet. It's another one of those half orcs I was telling you about. He's like, all right, says an undercommon. We've got you. We've got those you came with. Drop your weapons.
I will not be doing that. But I still come to just talk.
You can talk once that fancy sword of yours is on the ground, throne worshiper. Now drop it, or the 10 outside will suffer the same fate.
Give me a sec.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember some of my class abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Just teleport behind him and be like, better luck next time, kid. Slay.
Well, actually, the thing is, Nolgrim won't have his weapon on him because it's his packed weapon. So it's in an extra dimensional space when he's not using it.
So you just walk around appearing unarmed?
For the most part, like he'd have a what's the other blade he has? A war pick at his back.
I mean, yeah, then you can just drop that if it's not important.
Yeah.
Then you know?
he'd toss it aside.
As you toss it aside, a couple kobolds scamper out and they scoop up the war pick to pull it away from you. As 3 more of these cloaked figures go in behind you with the intent of binding your hands.
I'm afraid that absolutely is not happening. I highly recommend we not escalate it further.
You came into our home, monarchist. Now submit, or we kill the ones that are outside. We already have 2 of your group.
How many of you are willing to die when a simple conversation could just be had? I've come with no ill will, just exploring the ruins.
If we had wanted you dead, you would have been dead already.
Then why go through all this length of binding me? I mean, I've disarmed. But you have
Give me a persuasion.
But
Just roll the persuasion.
Yeah.
One of a tiefling woman speaks up to that fork. Throg, listen, we've got him covered. You know the rules. We're not like them. We'll take him to Cut. He'll tell him what we should do. Fine. But if you try anything, if you try to mumble any magic words or do any sort of hand gesture, all the soldiers that you brought with you will have their throats split. We clear?
As long as you don't show violence against me, I have no reason to show violence against you. Let's go.
They escort you, separating you from the soldiers. Always kind of trying to make sure to keep out of arm's reach distance.
Mhm.
But there appears to be quite a few of them, and they seem to be very adept at hiding in the shadows. They bring you to what was perhaps like a town hall or a plaza type thing, but they have surrounded it with several canopied tents, where you see an entire community of people, all of these various eclectic groups. And each and every one of them, you can tell, bears the signs of physical abuse: missing hands, eyes, large pronounced scars along the front, face, or back. They all look at you sharp-eyed as you go past.
Am I, based off everything I'm seeing, am I getting the impression that this is a refugee camp? Probably even survivors from the Drow?
It is a very educated guess.
Mhm.
Um,
Do I get any indication from the structures that they've kind of built here, roughly how long they've been here? Like before the refounding of Dammerhall?
Give me an investigation. You can't exactly put a date on it, but outside of the Daragar structures that they seem to be inhabiting, the tents and stuff look like they've been built to tear down and move.
Okay.
So you don't know how long they've been here, but mobility was in mind.
Okay.
As you bring into what was this former hall, you see several more of those barrels that perhaps would belong to the dwarves. Some of these have food in it. A lot of these cloaked soldiers seem to be handing it out to people.
Mhm.
The lead, the half-orc, says to someone, "Get cut. We had a perimeter breach." This gnome that he's talking to goes, "Are we going to have to do another teardown and move?" It's not impossible. Just go get cut. And the gnome scampers off. Half-orc gives you side-eye. You're lucky to get this deep in, monarchist. Most don't even get this far. You're one of them Dammerhall dwarves. Cut said we should let you speak first.
I certainly appreciate that. Shows a good mark on Cut's insight to at least make an attempt at diplomacy before taking any sort of harsh action.
You then hear an echo through the hall of it sounds like something metal being dragged across the stone. And entering this room is a small kobold dragging a human-sized longsword.
Okay.
And as he enters in, he flips it up and lands it across his shoulder, very much like Guts from Berserk, if you're familiar with that.
Mhm.
And you recognize that this kobold only has one arm. And as he looks at you, he is a blue-eyed, yellow-scaled kobold that you remember freeing from Maldraxxus's lair 5 years ago.
Maladraxxus. Need a reminder on that one.
The big red
Big
dragon.
red
I
dragon.
remember.
Oh,
that.
yep.
You
Okay.
remember you killed all those kobolds and there was one
Oh,
that was
okay,
in just
okay.
like a cage, and he's like, "Hey, mind if you just let me out here? I got no
Gotcha.
beef with you."
Okay. Hey,
Says, "Well, small Underdark."
that it is. Wonder what happened to you and your kin.
All right, everyone, settle down. This guy went into Maldraxxus's lair and came out the other side with all of his limbs attached. If he wanted you splattered all over the wall, you would be by now. Everyone relaxes some.
Put some respect on that name.
I Cut's right. I'm Nobulum. I can't remember if I gave you my name all those years ago. But
No, names were never exchanged. I didn't feel like giving mine at the time, and frankly, I didn't think you would last that long. But here we are.
Indeed. Dare I do not wish to intrude, but I am curious. I mean, I could see a society trying to form around what it could find. May I have the story of what's going on here?
This group here, we call ourselves the Freelings. All of us here had a different master at some point. Most were escaped from the Drow, slaves born and bred. Other of us, like myself, used to fall in with dragon worship. That's just another kind of slavery.
Mm.
We've been getting people out, trying to set up our own home here, beholden to no master.
Okay.
I carry respect with these people, but I don't lead them. I just speak for them.
I can understand that. If
And
you
you?
don't mind me asking, would any of these people happen to be from a Drow fortress just outside the fungal jungle? That was the first band of kobolds that we came across and freed from Drow slavery. And
We've
I-
never gotten anyone from that far. Nowhere beyond the Sunless Sea.
that's fair. Fear it'd be an awfully far trek. So, all right, sorry about that.
The half orc goes looking for runaways, monarchist. The Cut's like, "Hey, Throg, it's enough. Go check the perimeter."
Such a Throg comment.
Yeah. Give him space. He's had a hard time of it.
I don't doubt anybody's here really had it particularly easy. And as such, I certainly never want to add to the grief. I'm glad I found you. I don't relish what would have happened had we tried settling in one of our clans into this area
Would've been
without
gone.
knowing you are here. Oh, that's fair. That's true. But still, this seems like a pretty nice home you've carved for yourself. I feel like it's probably better than what you'll find in most of the caves.
Probably we'll have to figure out better now that you found us. You need to
Mm.
understand. I've had no reason to believe that Dammerhall is anything like the Drow.
Mm.
But for a lot of folks here, one crown is just as good as another.
Understandable. We make so I see no particular need to try to exert any sovereign or authority over you and your kin, and I, being honest, feel that the king himself would be of the same mind. He He is very much the sort that wants people to live according to their own styles. He's not as old-fashioned, we'll say, when it comes to dwarven thoughts on dwarves. And
He's a Democrat.
so, all that to say is that, would you permit me? Because again, this is your secret. I have no intention on telling it without your consideration. But were I to tell King Thurgus, I think he could be compassionate, and I don't know if he goes so far as to lend aid, but I could say with certainty that he would at least not cause harm to you and yours, and most likely would just let you all be in peace. But again, if you want to just disappear, I'm not opposed to turning a blind eye and just discovering ruins and say that there are some that have been here but lost track of them when we departed.
Listen, if I didn't want you to spill the underbeans, I would have had them take you out as you were coming in. We still have crossbows on those 10 outside just in case.
Yeah, and again, I currently certainly understand and appreciate the security, and more so the restraint to at least let us get this far without harm. So, in the meantime, is there anything else I could do to lend any sort of comfort?
It's an awful lot of high and mighty words, allowances, sympathies. As I said, I've got nothing against you and yours.
Hmm?
But you can understand my trepidation.
Absolutely.
You guys may not be using slaves, but you're still scooping up territory left and right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And again, that's why I'm grateful for having come across this before we would have stamped all over your home. So, again, I'm just looking to work with you if you're looking to want some, I don't know. I don't know what you want, honestly. You just want to be left in peace?
I want the Drow nation toppled and all the slaves freed. I want Maldraxx's head mounted on my wall, and the slaves that he's pulled under his reign to also be set free.
I
But
could agree.
Wait, stop
You
it, reverse it. What was that? He didn't have slaves when we saw him. Just pointing that out for Nolgrim.
yeah,
Oh, wait, Maladrax.
Well, he
is
did
still
establish that like worshiping dragons is its own kind
Yeah.
of slavery. So
but you killed all those kobolds.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we
Who
killed.
knows?
He did. He. Yeah, we killed all the kobolds. He shouldn't have slaves.
He went out
Unless
and
he
bought
found
more. By bought more, I mean he killed them until they followed him.
So Nogren will say, well, in all those wants, we are pretty well aligned.
Are we?
Won't go so far as to wage war just yet, but I don't doubt that the Drow are up to something. We've seen plenty of movement in the Sunless Sea, and they are
Because-
always scheming.
According to my scouts, Dammerhall just recently received a missive from the Drow. Assumed political in nature.
Hmm.
And then another one left your guys' home towards them. And a couple of my lads over there, remember you talking to a gang of Drow slavers.
Hmm.
You specifically.
Aye. They are wanting to trespass across our land. I wouldn't let them walk across it freely. If anything, I'd send troops that would slow them down, and, through talking, I turned them away. Better than drawing blades and starting a war when we're not quite on a war footing to that degree. Again, conversation can be just as potent as a sword when used properly. As you've just as you've shown with the way you've handled our meeting here. There are many political machinations going on, but I am of the sort that still considers the Drow a threat. That they just bide their time and strike when they get the best shot to jab a dagger in the back.
So you're planning to go to war with them?
I'm sure I'll come to it in time.
Is that your word? I know how much dwarven honor means.
It is true. What sort of word are you looking for? That we'll march against the Drow tomorrow? Or that we keep the Drow at arm's length until it is time that it comes to blows? Because as with the Drow, it seems it's only inevitable.
As I said, toppled empire, mounted heads.
Mhm.
If that's not something you're in for, I understand. I'm not going to ask anyone to fight on my behalf.
Nolgrim will, making, clear, slow motions, produce his book of grudges. Flip to the page with or he would say, you know what this is, by chance? Know much about dwarven lore?
Yeah, it's a book of grudges.
He would flip to the page that has the, was it the Drow matriarch on it?
The queen.
The queen, yeah.
Drow, bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would just be in there, probably like at the end, like
Comma. I'm very much a fan of the swear word they made up for the comic book character Lobo, Bastich. It's part bitch, part bastard. Bastich. It's gender neutral and is insulting to everyone.
Just when you open up the page, just scrawled, "Kill this bitch."
So you could. She is very literally on my list. And he close it and say, "That's about as close to a word as I could give you. I don't know if you know what happens if I don't fulfill this, but I have every incentive to do so within my lifetime."
All right, then. Go talk to your king. He's willing to come out here and muddy his boots for a talk. I'll listen. I'm not joining up with anything, though.
Of course.
We're not subjects to be incorporated.
Of course. I appreciate your understanding, and again, I think we see eye to eye in many regards, and not looking for any favors or anything like that, just good neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't like these fucking commies. Think they're entitled to our dwarven help. Fuck them.
To be clear, he wasn't saying that he was entitled to the help. He's just saying, if you want me as an ally.
Oh, in fact, he explicitly said the opposite of that.
Yeah. He's like, if you don't want to have a part in it, fine, go away.
So,
Yep.
with that,
And
he would.
As you're turning to leave, he goes, oh, and just a word of advice if you're trying to do diplomacy in the future. When you break into someone's house and they're
now he's gonna fucking complain.
Maybe just don't threaten to explode everyone all over a wall.
Nah, when people have arrows or crossbows drawn on me and have me disarm, and I, comply, and then they insist on restraining me, you gotta draw a line somewhere.
Fair, I suppose.
That Nolgrim will depart. I trust that all 20 are accounted for.
Yep, they released the first 2 that they captured. The 10 outside were never aware that they were under surveillance.
Right, and he'd ride off and make his way to Fergus, specifically in try to pull him aside in a one-on-one conversation.
Probably be like, I'll get on that as soon as we're done with this moot business.
But
Understand.
honestly, Fergus, I think we ought to pay attention to the fact that there are Drow and Dorger everywhere, and we can't trust them.
Look, my military footings for the peaks right now, guys. We gotta look at territory that is ours before we start looking outward at things that have been the way they've been for 1,000 years. Okay, let's take a step back. Okay, let's focus on getting the peaks back, and once we have that, we can look at the Drow.
I'm not looking to start a war with the Drow right now, but the fact is that they also seem to be very angry at Maldraxxus, and like it or not, he's going to show up eventually. So we're going to deal with him directly.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a war against the Cloud Giants either. At most, we just need to twist their arm enough to make them okay with us living up there.
I feel like anyone who's going to accidentally a war is going to be Freya. So,
huh?
This is out of character. I said anyone who's going to accidentally us into a war, I feel like it's going to be Freya.
I mean, if we get into a war, it won't be an accident, Fergus.
Ivy does point out, though, should we be concerned that we essentially have a camp of escaped slaves inside our territory, like politically with the Drow?
Oh, it's 100% going to be a problem if they find out.
Yeah, as the note, Nolgrim would have only have told.
Only told Fergus. Sorry, my mistake. Then.
Yeah, he just want to keep this, relatively
jumped in with all the stuff that's going on before he shows up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he would just point out the fact that he's probably going to at least meet with them. His goal is to see what they want, and talk to them. And if they don't accept what he plans on doing, they're free to leave or they're free to stay. But he's not going to strong arm them or force them to join them or anything.
Yeah,
he's just going to have a conversation, and if their ideas align, they're welcome to stay. If they're not, he's not going to stop them from trying to flee elsewhere.
If they have any brainiacs, tell them to come to my college. Tell the dummies to leave.
We have an IQ test to be part of Dammerhall.
Isn't this the second cult? Is this the second cult she founded?
So far.
She inherited the first one, to be fair.
That's true. That's true.
We used that cult. Now it's going to come back to bite us because that orange jelly monster has probably brain melded all those guys.
The GM quickly scribbling down notes.
Oh no, that's always been long planned.
I gotcha.
We're gonna someday go back to Dinport, and the entire Dinport is all just that cult. They're all worshiping something called the Machine Spirit.
But as this season draws to a close, many of representatives of the clans begin to filter in for the next season. There is many hundreds of minor clans, so it's going to be a pretty crowded meeting in the hall. But realistically, it's the great clans that decide most things based upon clout. Yeah,
I would have definitely pulled Fergus aside, and if the moot is going to happen, I feel like a great way to introduce this new piece of military technology would be to fly Fergus in on an airship. Well, it's all been cavernous.
Yeah.
Probably get a little bit up there, right?
Would you like to describe what you've created there, Freya?
Oh yeah, I'll send a couple of pictures. So this is a Gemtech powered airship. It's just like a light scouting vehicle, proof of concept for later designs. Let's see.
All this just makes me think of is the Pathfinder thing called the Quest for the Sky that the dwarves did, where it just ended on the surface, not actual sky.
Those look like sick.
He hasn't linked it yet.
Okay,
yeah,
that was
I'm just making sure I'm
going
going to send you guys the right thing before I pop it in chat.
Copa's looking at the wheezing picture. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's
You
not
built what?
inspirational at all.
Yeah, I
This
built
looks
that.
terrible.
I built a Pokemon.
Science
I'm
is
trying to.
not far.
Did they change Skype or something so I can't click and drag the doc?
Usually I just can drag an image or copy a link, but
Yeah, there's the one. So this is just the map of it. It won't have the big ballista on the front. It'll probably be decked out.
if you
Yeah,
upload something, I don't see it.
just popped up as you were saying.
Yeah, should have just popped in there.
Right.
And then for like a side profile, I have this, which I kind of based the design on.
Ah, yes, battle dirigibles.
Excellent. Steampunk. I'll go full steampunk dwarfs with y'all. We've already got the gnome connection.
So that's what I base the design on for kind of a side profile.
Gotcha.
I like it. Not sure how that rudder works, but I'm good with it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry,
It's magic.
complicated.
Don't worry about it.
It's like Star Wars in space.
It's runes and gems or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could like deck it out ceremonially, have like the banners hanging off the side. Make a little bit of an entrance, maybe.
If we
I'm inspired
met
to
the,
name this the
entourage-
Hindenburg.
Oh God, no!
Oh no, there will be much larger to blow up in flames.
Oh,
You
I'm
don't
just
name
talking
this
about the
one Hindenburg.
disaster.
Not fueled with helium. It's fueled with helium. If we meet the entourage out in your little outpost town, you could fly into that town to escort them through the tunnels. Or they could just watch you airship fly in.
But yeah, that's my idea.
You could also just, instead of having me ride in on it, have some lights on it and circle around the main forge on that level. Because that level, like, we look down from the castle into that level, don't we? Or no?
Yeah, and it could continuously flash 5 to 7 happy hour drinks half price.
Yes. Yes, noble dirigible. It is in fact a very good year.
But I was just thinking, like, have it like circle outside, like the main like site of the castle, with some lights on it to like say that you're like running an experiment on it, but they have full visuals on it.
Wednesday night, women drink free.
I love the fact that to hype yourself up, like in a fantasy setting, this is very impressive tech, but from our standpoint, it's like used car salesman tactic. Quick, deploy the wacky inflatable tube, men.
Oh, that'd be a game changer in this world. I'll have you know.
I think it projects more power if you fly in on it than if it's just flying in the background.
Fergus be like, I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna die in this.
There is no
Don't worry,
defense
it's
against
fine.
inflatable
This
tube.
is the
Tube
maiden
goal.
voyage, but it's fine. I have a parachute. Don't worry.
What the fuck's a parachute?
You'll be fine as long as you
No,
don't be
Nolgrim,
dumb. Just tie yourself to it, and you'll be fine.
Nolgrim would be thinking, if that vessel crashes and Fergus is to suffer ill fate, would that qualify as suspicious circumstances?
Well, that's what the moot would be for.
Exactly.
Have I ever built anything that's broken?
How
Unintentionally. I
accidental
build
was
bombs and shit sometimes. Don't want to say that too loud.
I like that Nolgrim's thought not went to Fergus's safety, but went to shit. If Fergus dies, this gets all screwed up.
Whack waving inflatable tube going.
Wacky lady.
New project idea, Fred.
Yep. Dammerhall is closed.
What happens when you combine a golem with an air elemental? Chaos.
power
Like
like
an
you have
inflatable
never
tea bag.
known.
It's just punching.
Give it,
That's all it's doing.
give it fury of blows.
I think it already has it.
We could do a thing that they're all welcomed into the throne room, and I know that wouldn't work because I don't think there would be like a patio area that's outside of the throne.
No.
I'm not sure if this plan's gonna work out there. It'd be good to show off regardless, but me just arriving on it. I feel like we want to welcome them into the place with me acting like a king rather than a kid with a new toy. Which,
Isn't there?
granted, it's an impressive toy, but
Yeah, I mean,
Is
new
there
toy,
like
just,
one of
you know,
those like
invented
di-
powered flights, new toy, whatever.
is there one of those like dioceses that like I can't remember what they're called, but basically the like balcony that the king overlooks the subjects in the great courtyard and okay,
There is. It just doesn't connect to the throne room.
yeah.
I gotcha. Well, you could always greet them there in a grand ceremony.
Greet them there. Have the airship show up to jump onto it and lower me down to where everyone else is.
Oh, you could go full Elvis, and the airship just brings you a peanut butter and fried banana sandwich from Tennessee, just because you wanted it.
Oh God.
I feel like you
That's
could just
right.
find a cook to make that regardless.
That's right. This is what the taxpayer money went to. This is why I should be king.
You know what, Fergus? I should have realized this. You handle the schmoozing. I'm gonna fight all the wars, but I expect the budget to be there when it happens. Slam the door.
By,
Tell
by all
Milgram to-
means, trespass on my domain.
Tell Milgram to stop spending the budget then.
You know what? As the president of the United States, I too would invent a Patriot missile explicitly to deliver me Bud Light internationally.
I want a tube system, like those ones that they have like at the pharmacies that deliver your meds in your drive-through, but just one of those that delivers across the nation when you're really feeling like you want a drink.
Launch the keg from the what's that called? The electromagnetic cannon, the Gauss
The
cannon?
railgun.
Railgun. That's it.
Mr. President, your Bud Light has reached Mach 6.
Oh, that's gonna be shaking up to hell, isn't it?
It better be cold when it gets here.
Giving a campaign.
I'm just saying.
Stealth jet rips overhead and drops a tiny parachute Diet Coke, which I catch at the podium.
I want you guys to imagine. Close your eyes for a second.
Yep.
It's 1904. President. Okay, that other loser that didn't win.
Mhm.
He's just sitting there waiting, twiddling his fingers. Then suddenly, the Wright brothers' first plane comes in, and inside of it is Theodore Roosevelt. And he jumps out. You're telling me he doesn't win even harder than he did? You're crazy.
He's a witch. He was flying. Quick.
He was
See
the
if he
first president
sinks.
to fly.
Well, yeah, because the powered flight was fucking invented like a year before that election.
Mhm.
I had to snap history search for that example.
Yeah,
All
there's
right,
a
look.
picture up on it. It's pretty great.
Here's another example. You have a candidate who creates a thing called the internet.
Al Gore?
Absolutely.
But
How could he ever lose?
yeah, no. Have fun walking there, Fergus.
I think I
She says that she just walks away in her mech.
I'm not just traveling everywhere in the mech.
Is that teddy bear?
Yeah, that's Theodore Roosevelt.
I feel like it would really emphasize the notion of why walk when you have machines to do that for you.
Wait,
Theodore
so this just emphasizes my point.
Yeah, Theodore Roosevelt was the first president in an airplane and the first president in a submarine.
That
Because
could be
those
useful,
things,
Fergus.
those things got invented, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to go up in that," and then he just
And-
climbed in because
Yep.
he was a legend.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And
Well,
the-
that's what I'm saying. If we welcome them into the area where there's like the looking area for the king to like look over our subjects, have me be there welcoming them in. Have the airship show up and I just hitch a ride on it from there down to where they are, rather than riding in from somewhere. Have it just show up and have me get on it mid-flight to be lowered down.
And skipping back to Al Gore, Bill Clinton was the first president to have a Subway sandwich on an airplane.
So I'm hearing is
Drum, do you just want a sandwich?
Ferguson on the airplane with the Subway sandwich.
I forgot which president it was. I just remember when I was in school, we had like a book full of presidents. Each one had like a fun fact with it. I forgot which one it was, but it was like this president, he bathed naked in the river every morning, comma, also the first president to be photographed.
Oh,
Those aren't related, but it's a funny
pictured here, children.
Unrelated.
Unrelated, but when you see those listed next to each other, they don't feel unrelated.
Tertiary, the first president to be banned from school sites.
The first president to be asked what's in that coat.
And to show you. Aha.
Yes, clan heads and their representatives that they have sent in their stead have begun filing in at the start of this season.
I have a question. Is this our local group? The ones in the mountain, or are these all the clans from exterior as well?
These are exterior as well.
Okay. So y'all could just have the flying ship outside the mountain.
Yeah, they're not all arriving at once, so the whole
Yeah.
ride in to meet them all thing. That's why I was like, one of the reasons I was like, I'm not sure how this is gonna work. Totally not because Fergus is afraid to fly in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be the blimp going around the mountain, advertising.
Advertising to the cloud giants that you have a flying machine.
The cloud giants notice. Quick, do a Tokyo drift.
Deja vu.
I just been in this place before.
I've never seen that anime in my entire life.
I've seen clips of it, and that's about as much as I've seen.
I just
of it.
know the drifting train. Loki's taking a bio,
drifting.
so this would be a time for a bio if anyone else.
Yeah, bio.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Those of you who aren't familiar with multi-track drifting a train.
I've seen Polar Express.
Yeah. That too. This was an actual thing.
If I had a penny for every time someone drifted a train, I'd have 2 pennies, which isn't a lot, but it's still weird that it happened twice. Oh, I see in this one it's like on 2 tracks at the same time. I'm not sure that's how trains work.
It is definitely not.
I'm not sure the track pivots like a car wheel like that. I think they're pretty much dead on. I think. That's what I always assumed. Granted, I live in the United States, so not real familiar with trains. I've been on one train in my entire life. And that was only because my grandma had this thing about, like, you need to travel on all forms of transportation or something. So, like, she would plan these, like, needless trips that would be on, like, we're going to take a train. Just to say that I'd been on a train, I guess, and I really understand it. Probably an old person thing. Back when trains were new.
On a train that has like service to like like it's a restaurant and everything, and you're doing it for like the experience. It's one thing, but like just going on a train is like it's just another form of transportation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not terrible or anything like that. It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in many ways, you could argue it's better than flying, except for the fact that it's slower.
You see these designs for the standing room flights?
Oh God, I know.
Yeah, I saw that. That's horrifying.
Because they're just constantly trying to make it more and more miserable.
Well, I guess the concept is that it would make like those cheaps would be incredibly cheap, right?
Yeah, but like, you ever been on a plane in high turbulence?
Yeah, no, I get you, dude. It's crazy.
That's why you just strap them to a wall. Like, you ever been to like an amusement park and they have that one where it spins so fast you're like stuck to the wall? Just like that, but a plane.
So I feel like maybe at this point we should perfect having the planes not explode midair, since that seems to be a problem we have in the modern day.
Yeah, that too.
It's like,
it doesn't make sense. Why are there more plane crashes now?
Funny.
I think I honestly
Not even.
my opinion is because we do that thing where they basically advertise like, okay, whoever can do this the cheapest is the one that gets the contract. They do it with like NASA shit too. I'm like, that's how you get subpar fucking shit done.
Race to the
I
bottom.
think Kenneth was about to come in with some dumb facts and tell me how plane crashes have always happened.
Oh, they've always happened. But no, we stopped hiring people based on merit and started hiring them based on characteristics. But yes, also cheap.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as time progresses, I should feel more safe on a plane. Not like it's about to fucking explode any
Not
moment.
to even mention like cars, how cheap cars feel like nowadays. Like if you feel a car like being how it was when it was built in like the 80s and even the 90s and even before,
oh yeah,
they were a lot more structurally sound. Now, like they're designed to not kill you when you crash, which is good, but they're also made of the cheapest fucking materials. I'm like, this is cheaper than the fucking monitor I have for my computer. Like the plastic that's on cars.
That's the
You know what
part.
I appreciate so much when I see in the modern day? A reasonably sized truck. A truck that you're like, yeah, that's like a normal person would use that truck in their day-to-day life. Not a fucking Ford got a
why does this truck have 8 tires?
To the driver's seat bullshit that you're never ever using.
Again, why do you have 8 tires in your truck when you drive in the city?
But I've come to appreciate a trunk that can take a hit. There's so many of these modern cars that have the whole power, everything like that. They feel like they're made of like paper plates. And I remember growing up, and as well as you can still find them with cars from like the 80s and 90s, you can really slam that fucker and it's totally fine. Like that's just how you close the trunk. That used to be a method when you were packing stuff in the back of your car. You need to make sure it closed because it was a tight fit. You just put your shoulder into it. Nowadays, it's like, oh no, I just did $2,000 worth of damage to the servos because I have to buy a new car.
Or why does everything in your car have to be smart nowadays?
Why does everything have to be smart just in general, not just in a car?
Yeah, like why does my washing machine need to be connected to the internet?
I don't give a fuck.
I can kind of wrap my head around like a refrigerator because like it'll tell you if it goes down, so you have to keep if you're trying to keep things a certain temperature and you have stuff that could perish really easily. Fine, whatever. It's still dumb, but
I gotta say, whenever I see like smart in an appliance, it just doesn't need to be connected to the internet. I'm like, yay! Someone can hack my refrigerator now.
So, I didn't end up finishing it, but I just remember watching the start of the Cyberpunk anime. And the main character kid, he was doing laundry in his apartment. And he's sitting in front of his laundry machine. And a holographic display on the laundry machine plays an ad for a soda. And then after the ad resolves, it says your subscription has elapsed on your laundry machine. I'm like, don't put that in the universe. Don't put that out there. Please.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
I think I saw a video of someone hacking someone's smart thermostat to just fuck with their temperature in their house.
Also, those cars that had like a subscription plan for their heated seats, like you couldn't use their heated seats unless you signed up for their subscription plan.
I will be dead before I spend money on a car that I have to unlock a feature from like a
Right?
video game.
I'm like, it's in the car.
DLC.
Just give me the damn feature.
Gentlemen, I have to say that was probably the proudest 15 minutes I've ever had with this group. That was some pure, outlandish old man fucking complaining about technology, and I didn't say a goddamn word. Kudos to you guys. Welcome aboard.
Believe me, Cope, I get some looks from people at work when I'm all like, "Why is the punch clock have to use a touch screen? What the fuck happened to buttons? I like buttons, just a physical thing I can push. What the fuck?"
Look, you're talking
You cut out.
that come with just manual locks and a manual roll-up window, because power locks and power windows are just more things I'm going to have to replace when they go bad.
The worst was
cheap
automatic
son of a bitch.
seatbelts. I'm so glad they don't make those almost at all anymore.
Oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
I saw that in a TV show the other day in Tommy Boy. The automatic seatbelt started rolling up on that guy who never ages. And I was like, holy shit, I forgot those death traps existed.
Yeah, they were so bad. My first car had those, and they were the fucking worst.
Yeah, they were
They
a
were
terrible trap.
awful. They just trap you.
Mm-hmm. I will say the best invention for a car that I will say that, like, technology-wise, the camera that you can see when you're backing up, who's behind you and what's behind you. That is so fucking.
No,
I can't
yeah,
imagine.
No, I have to disagree, because this was maybe last week, and I almost got hit twice in the parking lot, and it was near a Starbucks where all these children go that I think are supposed to be in high school. Why aren't they in school? I don't understand why they're out while I'm out.
Yeah.
And I almost got hit twice. And then the next day I'm walking, because I go get my groceries there in the morning for lunch. And I'm walking through and I hear this conversation between two children who don't look like they're children. They look like they should be able to drive and things. And she goes, no, it was the worst. And so I hit it in the front, and the auto brake didn't stop me. And then as I was backing away from it, I hit one behind me, and the auto brake didn't stop me there either. And I found out it was because I was going too slow for the auto brake to kick in. And the other one says, yeah, I hate it too, because when I'm not looking at my screen to back up, that's when I always hit things on the corner.
Okay, that's just stupid people, Cope. I
Yeah.
look behind too, but I'm having the exact opposite issue. I've had issues with people being behind me that I would never have noticed, because they're like, I've had a kid behind me, like less than 10-year-old kid, that just was standing behind my car that I would never have seen, and there was no parents around them. And if I hadn't had that camera, I would have hit that kid.
It has its place, but we still need to teach these kids that you need to look.
Again, there's just stupid people.
Mirrors.
There is nothing more infuriating than someone under the age of 18 who hasn't learned any spatial awareness.
Oh,
yes.
I
use your side
with
mirrors.
Oh, there's
use
people who
your
are over
backup
40
mirror,
who don't
use
have
the
any spatial
camera.
awareness.
Oh God, how do you survive?
It is frankly a miracle I haven't accidentally mangled someone's child at work yet. It is.
Man, you asked that, Michael, about how do they live? Modern day society will keep you alive no matter what.
Many people
Yeah,
are
they
alive
sue
because
people.
it's
They
illegal
live
to kill
through
them.
suits.
They live what? I missed that.
What did you say, Cope?
Kenneth said many people are alive because it's illegal to kill them. And
Yeah,
I said
that
many people are alive, and they're kept alive through lawsuits.
Mhm.
Both of those are very funny.
And accurate.
Anyway, back to Fantasyland.
Yes.
Mhm.
Which
We'll make
somehow
right
makes
over.
which somehow makes more sense. Oh, God.
This fiction has to be believable.
Yeah.
If you wrote a book where the
believe
villain embezzled millions of funds, you couldn't name him Madoff.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone,
Every
everyone,
time I know that guy's name. Anyway, sorry.
everyone wants to play Stardew Valley and stuff and live in that world just because they understand everything that's happening. That's really what it is. So yeah, start of the season. We'll have begun to file in for the moot. Yes.
Did we ever check out that hole?
I do not think you did, but you can if you'd like. If you'd like to show everyone the hole.
Then we can wait until after this.
Okay, everybody, every dwarf in the city, get ready to pee in this hole.
All right.
That's
How
one way
many
to fill it up.
I'll
All
piss
right,
in the
boys.
car.
Today we're gonna play a game called "How Many Dwarves Does It Take to Fill a Hole with Piss?"
Fire brigade.
Why is the Underdark Sea turning yellow?
It drains into the sunlit sea.
Okay, sorry.
We
Just
get
like a long
summons
siphon.
here from the
So
Elf Empire EPA.
Various delegations have begun arising. Thrum. You are called out to the third level of Dammerhall, just above the mine section, by some of your security people, as there has been a small incident in the developing section. You are currently standing not too far from where the Golem Foundry stood. It's still there, but it's just bombed out ruins for where Bedjack artillery striked it in an attempt to kill you. However, the lava lake that was built on has kind of turned a darky, like black and purple instead of a glowing lava color because you guys melted the Umbra Colossus into there. And one of your security people is explaining to you, yeah, so we just we had an incident this morning. A couple of these shambling things came out of the pool, started trying to attack people. No one got seriously hurt. We got guards on scene and we put them down. They didn't put up much of a fight. But we don't know if it's the pool. We don't know if it's... And then you hear like a thunder crack because about half a mile behind you is Caliburb's castle and it's got a full rainstorm over it. But the pool seems to be getting colder, but it is still burns to the touch. Like it's pulling heat out of the environment.
Question off camera.
Yep.
When you say the third floor, is this the third floor down where we don't let people live right now? This is kind of the area we're still cleaning up.
So floor 1 is where the palace is. Floor 2 is where the most developed city where most people live. Floor 3 is kind of like, it's a mostly cleared out cavern, but it's like the developing city. It wasn't completely settled originally. And then below that it's just the mine tunnels, which you guys still have cordoned off because you have the Black Iron Army down there.
Okay, so this is level 3. So people do live down here. We've still got some ruins from the fight.
Just far fewer numbers. This is like if you were thinking about a normal urban sprawl, this would be like the warehouses at the edge.
Sure. What are these shambling things look like? Like skeletons, dwarves.
Kind of like dwarves made out of purple molten rock.
All right, let's put a security force around this. I'll go talk to the king about it. He's gonna stand there for a little while and see if anything doesn't stand out to him as to what could be causing it. They're like a knowledge roll he could make.
I will say, give me an Arcana or Religion.
He doesn't have either trained. Is that a 5e thing?
Yeah, you can roll them. You just don't add your proficiency bonus, so long as it makes sense. I feel like you're pretty informed at this point, so. Yeah, you don't know. I mean, the best
It's probably
educated
the
guess.
runoff from that shit that's melting there in the hot lava, and he's gonna stick his finger in the lava since he's immune to it, and be like, "Yep, tastes pretty hot." So I'm gonna go talk to the king about this.
1 point of necrotic damage.
It's spicy.
You were immune to the fire part of it. That is true, but
Y'all don't touch that. That's
I don't think anyone else would touch that.
that's
Gotta finish
that's some
kings.
real southern Texas shit right there.
Dwarf, Texas.
Millard will keep people back from it. Keep eyes on it.
Here we go find Fergus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got a pool that's giving out kind of undead dwarves from where the foundry, right? Foundry?
Yeah, the Golem Foundry ruins, yeah.
Somewhere the Golem Foundry melted into the ground after it got, blowed up.
Isn't that also where we fought that giant colossus and he fell into there too?
Yeah, it's sank into the lava.
Oh yeah. We
Imagine
got
how many
real
souls
tricky
went
with
into
that one.
crafting that. That's probably all in that lava. It's probably not fun.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to put a fence around that, I suggest, King.
Just like a really big tarp.
Keep outside.
Big tarp fence. Maybe have hazmat suits guys walk by and fill out some clipboards full of information to make sure it's still okay.
Well, Thrum, I hate to break it to you, but I'm pretty sure this is your job as the, Dammerhall
I'm
security
in charge
agent.
of I'm in charge of the TSA, and God damn it.
Yeah, you might want to get on that pretty soon there, buddy. Also, probably talk to Freya because she's investigating a lot of the stuff with the Dark Iron. It has probably something to do with that.
All right.
I have people to brown nose, so if you'll excuse me, I'm getting my face on as he's braiding his beard while he's talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now you're putting in beard extensions? Oh, wait, no, you already have that with the axe, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, if you excuse me, I need to motorboat some hairy dwarven posteriors.
Oh, God.
Yeah, never mind. I thought my job was bad as you just described it to me, but looks like you're getting yours.
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
I like you more and more every day.
Mm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'd go try and find Freya or Nolgrim or Taskell. People who aren't self-important.
Hey, delegation is the key.
Yep. I mean, you can always bring this up at the Council of Idiots. I imagine you guys have those meetings fairly regularly.
Yeah.
I mean, idiots always do bump into each other.
Yeah, I will do a religion check to see if I can maybe. You said religion, right?
Religion
Or
or Arcana. Either one.
I think the same, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is, based upon your research into the Black Iron, this is 100% the fact that the Umberite Colossus, it has taken 5 years beneath the lava after you guys disrupted the integrity of its armor. It essentially has just turned that entire lava lake around the Golem Foundry into just a gigantic magical toxic waste pool of undead energy. The broken up shards of the souls trapped in that armor have now just kind of intermixed with the lava. So those shambling things that come out are essentially fragments of tortured dwarven souls attempting to get out, and they're just kind of lashing out mindlessly.
From the
There's
window,
something-
Fergus is like, called it.
There's something we should consider for those other golems we've got. Bad way to dispose of them. Don't throw them into the lava.
Turns it into toxic sludge.
Hmm.
We're gonna need to find a way to fix that, but
Definitely
I figure
need
it'll
some
probably go
Ghostbusters.
hand in hand with finding a way to fix these souls, which is going to be next on my agenda.
Ghostbusters.
I just love the grumble of that. Ghostbusters.
All right, let's gas him up and crank him up and push him in. All right, so now that we've identified the reason, how do we deal with the season? Or in other words, how do we kick all their asses?
Huh?
We got to kill them. They keep walking out. We can't just leave them in there.
Well,
We gotta
I
fix
figure
the
we just got
problem.
to set people up outside until we figure it out.
That's what I'm saying. Let's figure it out. How do we get in there and kill them all?
Like I said, it probably goes hand in hand with figuring out how to fix these souls.
Well,
I really
I'm
can't.
thinking if we dig a ditch and we drain the lava out towards another water pool like the Sunless Sea, and
Yeah,
we
that
flood it
doesn't
over
solve
into
the
there.
problem.
Well, it solves my immediate problem. TSA has done their job, and it's out of our SA, if you know what I'm talking about.
Please dig pipes and start dumping toxic waste into the ocean.
Look, if there's
Those
one thing
are-
dwarves are good at, it's moving heavy materials and those that can be used for industrial supplies.
Look, yes, it would be convenient to get it out of the way, but each of those creatures that comes crawling out is a fragment of a soul, and the more of those souls we can reconstruct, the better.
So wait, you're saying you can put them back together?
Maybe, if you do your job and make sure they don't go anywhere.
What if I
And you let me
contain them
do
in
my
a
job of figuring it out.
Yep, I'll contain them in a different location so that they don't harm the immediate populace.
Is there anything significant about that lava? I know it was lava around the...
No, it was just the lava itself wasn't significant. It was the lava like around the Golem Foundry. It probably served some sort of function to the function of the Golem Foundry, but no efforts have been made to reconstruct the foundry, so you don't really know.
Yeah, drain it somewhere, but don't... well, if you want to drain it somewhere, you can, but I wouldn't recommend just throwing it away or throwing it into the Sunless Sea.
I'm on it. Don't you worry. Always thinking 2 steps ahead.
Okay, I'm going to ask at the next meeting where you put it, just so you know.
It's going.
He just starts making big oil drums and spooning it out and shipping it overland to Port Epstein.
So do you remember that thing you explicitly told me not to do?
I figured, why the fuck not? It seemed like such a good idea.
Look, like you said, we didn't pipe it in. Instead, we put it into barrels and shipped it over.
It was either that or load it into artillery shells. So, like, take your...
Damn it, we didn't weaponize it.
Before we get into the kingdom actions and then into the moot, which will be a pretty big deal. Fergus, Cyrus comes and sees you as you're shaking hands and parting ways with some minor client figures who we're not going to go into. May King, if I may have a moment of your time.
Of course.
I got a financial report here that may be a part of your domain of responsibilities here. Apparently, the human kingdom of Corsiconia is requesting taxes and back payment upon the land that you have settled on.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen.
We don't do back pay in these parts.
I can move the funds around if you want to keep it there for now, but there's been no words in these myths about them wanting to evict, but
Well, I'll contact them this next month and see if I can start the ball rolling. Don't allocate the funds quite yet, but we'll see how it goes.
Abdicate what funds? We're not paying them.
That's why I'm putting it off for now.
I mean, you kind of built on their land.
Look, Fergus, you need to
no.
figure this out and figure it out without starting a war with them.
Look, Fergus, what I'm going to recommend is that in exchange, instead of paying them taxes, we could remove the toxic waste that's been placed on their land. There's lots of barrels. They've got tons of barrels right now. That's not going to be good for them.
By those dastardly drow.
We could see to it for a fee.
With that, let's get into the kingdom actions for this season.
Ignore the dwarven-shaped tortured souls crawling out of it. That's just what drow look like when they're dead.
All right, kingdom actions, and then the moot will kick off in proper.
All right, I am further researching solving the black iron problem.
All right. Trying to figure out how to reconstruct dwarven souls is what I'm trying to understand.
Yep.
So I'm going
Alright.
to take the 3 temples and try to keep the souls contained, at least with some sort of sanctification of the area.
Mm-hmm.
Is that lore?
Yeah, this would definitely be lore.
Right.
This is going to be a 2d12 problem because reconstructing souls is quite a thing.
Fair enough.
Plus civic stress.
I will experiment with gym tech to see if maybe that helps me.
Yeah.
Soul gems.
Yeah, that's very much a thing. You can absolutely include that.
Cool. And then I got the other 2 clans helping me out. It's for 2d6. And then I'm writing this down so that I can just reference this and change it a little bit, which is why it's taking me longer. I realized I should have done that for the last one, but
No worries.
Forsworn and is it Helmengard is the other one I have.
Embermane?
Is it Embermane I have?
Yeah, Helmengard is paladins.
Okay. Sorry. 1d6. And rune work is d8. Heart of the Mountain? Yes, no?
Yeah, because you're dealing with souls, heart of the mountain. I say. Right here.
And then I think that might be it, unless maybe I count the Ancestor Temple.
Yeah, if you want to get them involved, it's up to you. Depends if you want to get the temples politically involved with your research.
Maybe I'll leverage something on them later. I've already got sort of that deal with the Embermane, so it's kind of adjacent to them with the Ancestor Temple. All right. Oh wait, how do you do the brackets? Is it double brackets? Okay. It's been a while since I've done the brackets.
So I got 13, and your highest is 8. So progress is ongoing, but no meaningful results yet.
Damn it.
It's a tricky problem.
Nolgrim would like to try to wine and dine the clans as they're all kind of coming in for the moot. I'm
Mhm.
wanting to try to lower the political stress.
Yeah.
See. Nolgrim, influence die, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely influence.
Can I use historic capital? Just kind of like,
Yep.
Welcome to, yeah. And
Welcome to scenic Dammerhall.
would I be able to like earmark some of the stuff we get from the trade goods to kind of get some like the luxurious wines and drinks? Or
Yeah,
not,
that's pretty reasonable.
Maybe not wines.
yeah, no ales, but
Yeah.
not a good
Alright.
roll. 8 with a D10 kicker.
And we rolled
Okay.
6, so it drops 1 level. Yeah, stresses are definitely their hardest to lower when they're really, really high, which
Yeah.
kind of makes sense thematically.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Freya, Nolgrim.
Fergus is probably going to send a letter to that the human guy that he had
Mhm.
spoke with before. Whatever the political version of the fuck bro, I thought we talked about this.
Yeah, Duke Edgar.
Yeah. Followed by some haggling to try to see if worst case scenario, maybe he can like basically say this is his idea and he can handle the taxes in a share in exchange for a share of the profits from the city itself, so we don't have to handle the payments of it. And he can claim that anything that's successful out of it is his idea.
Yeah, later on at the end of the season, you get a missive back saying that the Duke has no record of that meeting happening between you two.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
No, there will be an extensive record of his autopsy.
Macro
How many
political
axe
dealing.
wounds they're going to find in his torso?
With that, I want to increase the deep moose herd.
If you want to, you
That
can.
might be the most Thrum sentence said so far in this
Oh,
campaign.
so this is a real thing. If you want to increase the productivity of the D-Smooth herd or the gem mine, you can make it so they add 1 to the budget, but then the dice size will go up by 1.
That's not my choice.
I mean,
I
it is
still-
technically.
I thought I could. I thought I could just catch more meese, but that's all right. What if I increased Thrum's pillars?
Yeah, you could. That's another. It would be an action, but that would be another small budget increase, and you could make them go up a die size.
Oh, I don't want this budget increase. All right, we're going to decrease the civic die stress.
All right.
We're going to continue to go around and campaign for Fergus, and we're here to help, and we love everyone. And that's a 1d8 plus, what'd you say, influence plus TSA.
So you're looking at 5. No, was not moving that dial this time.
That's all right. Yep. So you've heard this speech before. Yeah, you were here last time. Go away. Stop ringing on my doorbell.
And Taskell, you said you want to use some of the clerics of the temples and stuff like that to kind of set up a sanctified perimeter around the lava pool to stop that problem from spilling over. Yeah. So this will be a pretty simple one. This will just be a 2d6 difficulty. To maintain this long term without needing to, like, say, reorganize and reconsecrate as an action, every year or so you will need to increase the budget by 1.
And seems like a decent thing for the use of a budget. At least so that I don't have to roll for it every freaking season.
Or every year, I was going to be generous about that. Yeah.
Any vetoes?
No, if anything, that puts a incentive to put effort to get it solved so that we could get that money back.
Does put us at 11 budget, I think.
Mhm.
Okay, so
So yeah, but we'll quickly do a roll here. So that will be your die. I would say lore. You can certainly use all 3 of the temples.
yeah, that's what I've got down so far. I was thinking of maybe saying whichever one contributes the most, as in rolls the highest dice, is next on the list of upgrades for their temple, but not sure if I could swing forward population for that, given friendly rivalry and all that.
Yeah, I'll say dwarven population. That could work.
Okay, that should hopefully be enough to be 2d6.
Yeah, it's just 2d6 difficulty.
11. There's a slight chance.
Oh, it goes to you still in this case,
Yeah.
I would say. I know I've been kind of ties do different things, but I would say in this case, the tie would go to you because you're just establishing a perimeter and you're already having the increased budget. So. Then I think that just leaves Ivy.
Maybe have her start like gathering intel of the new arriving clans that we haven't really met with yet.
Sure.
Like as they're arriving, seeing if there's any like rumors or some rumor mongering or like picking up anything they've been talking about.
Yeah.
It is a
So
spy
this-
thing, so
It is a spy thing. So we'll just make this difficulty 2d8 plus political stress. That would be Ivy. Influence. Probably could use all the clans that you already have.
excuse me. Yeah. I think that's probably I don't think any of the assets would really work for this, so
All right.
it's just a bunch of D6.
Hey. My highest was 4, so your 12 takes it. All right. So, snooping around, what Ivy's been able to pick up just through rumor mongering, since she doesn't have a spy ring within the city, is that Clan Cinderax and Clan Oakensunder deeply hate each other.
Yeah, I can see that.
Highcliff and Helmengard usually have really good relations with each other. Helmengard seems to be favorable towards you. Clan Embermane seems like they've been pretty hush-hush about something and very non-committal.
Mhm.
Let's see, anything else?
What was that last part?
My thing about Embermane?
Okay, no, sorry. I thought you said something after that.
I said, and then I said, okay, and what else? Everyone's pretty shocked that Clan Grimpire is being as involved as they are, but that's not really a
Shocker there.
shocker. Yeah, the most part, Shale Brew is being set up to be the wild card right now because they're the contrarians. The recent actions at the College of Runework and the battle against the Troglodytes has put Clan Forsworn probably the most in your pocket.
Yeah, we seem to be using them quite often, so
Mm-hmm.
These boys are all for all of our military adventures.
Oh yeah.
They don't want shaking up the pot, getting some weird pacifist in there.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I swear to God, I'm gonna go to war with this human bear, and he's pissed me off more than any villain so far. Because he's fighting me with bureaucracy. I hate bureaucracy.
Nope. Got to solve that one without war. Not in the plans. That's at least 10 years out.
Now, if you excuse me, I need to kill this guy.
Like, they made it personal.
Yeah.
You're too
So
much of an eyesore. You can't live up here. Fuck you.
Yeah. So, as a brief recap of your current geopolitical situation and everything on your borders, you have the Drow somewhere to the north, which seem to be poking around the area, possibly looking for escaped slaves. You have a large encampment of escaped slaves on the far side of your territory. You're kind of blocking the Drow off from them. There is some unknown force to the north that had the troglodytes run away from it. Similarly, above you in the clouds are a bunch of cloud giants who don't want you to settle on the tops of the mountains, and there is some bureaucratic sable rattling from the humans on the surface as well.
I did have a question, Gombo.
Yeah.
The missive we got about the taxes owed, are they specifically towards the Baron that I was trying to talk to, or is it just the nation of Corsiconia?
Both.
Both? Okay.
It's one of those things where the Baron is writing on behalf of the nation of Corsiconia.
But if I chose to try to say, next time I send out a missive, try to go above his head, would that be a possibility to do?
You can just certainly try.
Yeah, but I'm like, there is somebody that, like, it's not one of those things that, like, oh, it's it's a collection of nations, but the Baron has absolute authority over his land, kind of thing. Like,
technically, it's feudalism, so
it's feudalism, but
a king can step in, but technically speaking, the Baron has direct. But it's intentionally convoluted.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's a fun little breakdown of the current geopolitical climate you're in.
Mm-hmm. So
Surrounded
I
by
have some
things.
ideas for that later, but we'll deal with that in a minute.
However, as this season is coming to a close-ish, the last of the delegations begin to arrive, along with several of the clan heads of the great clans that you have not met before. You're introduced to the clan head and champion of Clan Cinderaxe, Fjord Molten Fist. He is a dwarf that proudly goes around bare-chested, wearing nothing but his tattoos and his scars, along with his leg armor and a cloak made out of some sort of reptilian lava beast. He is red-bearded, very loud, very brash, has made no secret he does not think especially highly of Fergus and his dainty ways.
Ooh, dainty.
Mm-hmm. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the clan head of Clan Oakensunter, Hilda Elvenbane, is the exact opposite. She, much like much of the people of Clan Oakensunder, enjoys sporting light armor of colors of greens and browns. She wears a beret with several feathers in it. They specialize in mechanicalized crossbows, so that's firmly on display. If it wasn't for the fact that every conversation you've had with her, Fergus, has somehow slid into deep elf-hating racism, which she never directs at you, just it's a conversation like she thinks it's standard knowledge, you would get along with this person otherwise.
Yeah, so like elves, am I right?
Yeah, she's
We
very
were talking
much
about what we were going to have for dinner.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
yes,
very
they
much
breed
like
like
a-
rabbits and stink up the air around them. What about it?
But she's, other than that, she's very like, screw dwarven tradition. Everything should be attached to practicality. You know, what works, what doesn't, what kills the most elves.
Like, ooh, that last one is where I just have some
Yeah.
problems.
That's how most conversations with her seem to go, where it's like, yeah, right, that thing. Oof,
Ooh.
okay.
Every time I feel like we're about to be friends, you just say one more thing. It's like, starting back over.
All
What are your
right,
thoughts on summoning fire elementals to send as diplomatic envoys to the elves?
And
Yeah,
lastly,
we started doing this fun thing where we put on fake pointy ears and prance around on stage like we're elves.
We call it
And-
elf face.
also,
We call it
surprising
elf
everyone,
ears.
the clan head and Longbeard of Clan Highcliff, Blazir Hammerhand, has decided to actually be in attendance personally. He's an elderly dwarf, so he usually sends representatives in his stead. So everyone's kind of surprised he's hauled himself all the way out to Dammerhall to attend the moot in person.
Ah, yes, the old money.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, everything about Highcliff reeks of like deep dwarven tradition, old money, lots of like gold jewel bejangles in the beards and everything like that. Deep pockets, deep influence. He's been in the game a long time, so you can't get a good read on this guy. But lastly, and perhaps most importantly to you, the representative of Clan Grimpire arrives, which would be your brother Tomas. Now, obviously,
Fuck
you're
him.
going to be there in person to greet him, as
Say
is
the
proper decorum, Fergus. Is anyone else choosing to be in attendance?
Oakham will be there.
Bert,
Oh,
Fergus,
you know I'm
you
gonna
say
be
the
there.
word.
Bird.
Where? Pulls out gun,
Bam,
starts shooting
Bam,
ceiling.
bam, 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 bam.
We got to have all the champions of Dammerhall there. Come on, guys.
They don't want you to know this, but birds are elven spy drones.
They replaced
We
all
can't
real
be-
birds a long time ago.
We can't be like, yeah, Nolgrim couldn't make it today.
Oh, we're all there.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're the
Full,
heroes that
mech suit.
reclaim Dammerhall, so
Mhm.
it'd be weird
Yeah,
if one of us didn't show up.
I'm sorry, Fergus's older brother. You're gonna have to be sixth in line behind the five of us who found this fucking place.
We're here to stand up for his name and his honor.
So yes, in the throne room, you're all seated. The procession from Clan Grimpire arrives. You have never seen a more dour and humorless procession of dwarves. They don't particularly have clan color. Most of their armor is unadorned and unpolished. It's purely just for practicality. A lot of them have the hair on the top of their head cut short, only leaving their beard. If you read the Zombie Apocalypse Survival Guide, you know why. But
Yeah.
at the head of the procession is Fergus's twin brother, Tomas, now Tomas of Clan Grimpire. When you see him, the family resemblance is immediate. He and Fergus have very similar face, but it kind of deviates from there. While Fergus has certainly, thanks to his adventures and the magical axe he now possesses, has definitely not been as scrawny of an example as he once was, he is still slimmer by dwarven standards. His brother Tomas, however, is the very picture of dwarven brawn, broad shoulders, thick of arm. Clearly someone who is used to performing vigorous physical labor for a living. He wears his same black hair that Fergus has, long, and he also has a long, trimmed but not overly adorned black beard that flows down, kind of making his entire head section shrouded. Unlike Fergus, who before his magical axe forced him to trim his beard and grease it to a mustache, he very clearly fully embraces being the very image of dwarven bearddom. The armor that he wears is clearly well crafted, but still bears a few scars from past wars. And at his side jangles a very well made flail. He comes in, inclines his head, Brother, it's been some time. Your Majesty.
Just kind of give him a nod.
Mm,
Yes, it's been a minute. Just kind of holding back, like I want to like call him a bunch of names, but like nope,
mhm.
I'm professional now.
He looks around. It's good to see this place back in the hands of our people.
And it's amazing what you can accomplish when you really put your all into something.
I'd imagine. He turns to Thrum and Taskell. Uncles. I think I have only met Thrum in passing, though I don't know if you remember me or not. It is good to meet you in person.
I remember you, nephew.
I hope my scrawny younger brother didn't give you too much trouble upon your journey.
Don't talk about your king that way, son.
My apologies. He says in a way that doesn't imply that he really means it.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of burned Thrum's tongue to say that, so.
Why do we hear a sizzle on the next to me?
I just took 1d6 points of fire damage, boy.
But you're immune.
Why do they keep hitting me with this necrotic damage? Damn it.
Oh no, I caught lava AIDS.
God, it is.
Look down. Freya's knuckles are white.
May I speak freely and informally, Your Majesty?
We're gonna get to the point anyway soon, so go ahead.
I admit that I'm surprised that you're able to claim this throne and reclaim this city. But you and I both know this isn't what you want, Fergus. You ran away from every problem you've ever been in. You're not going to leave the dwarves here high and dry. That's why I'm stepping in.
Yes, the person who even sells out their own family is coming to step in. Amazing.
We've all made mistakes, and we've all grown.
Indeed, we have all grown.
With your permission, Your Majesty, I will go set up in quarters for the moot.
Of course. Enjoy your stay. Just kind of wave them away.
Mm-hmm. The procession turns and leaves.
When everyone's out, except for my people, I'm just like, ooh, I just want to punch him so bad. Just one
You know
good
who he
one.
reminds
just right
me of,
in the-
Fergus? He reminds me a lot of you, Fergus. A lot when we first met. Nothing but a coward. Wants
I'm not
to
sure if to
step
be
in and run
happy
things.
or offended.
Go ahead, Michael.
Wants to step in now that all the work's been done and take the throne for himself. Can't think of many things more cowardly than that.
Olgrim will, chuck Thrum on the shoulder. Nice line you threw at him, by the way. That was well played.
I don't know where that came from, Fergus, but I will say this. I've always been loyal to my people, and I realize now with all of these outside dwarves coming in, you are my people. So we'll see this through.
I just like look at Thrum, just go up to him for a second. I slap him really hard, but it makes my own hand hurt because he's made of rock. I'm just making sure
Damn
you
it,
were
if you
real.
Yeah, if you had hugged me, I wouldn't have known what to do. So that's much better.
Nolgrim will lean over to whoever's closest and just like, wow, they're finally bonding.
We just both probably
They're
turn at the same
talking to
time.
me.
You take that back. Well, we should probably see to the processions and commingle, and then probably go and prepare for what we need to do.
Yep.
What was that? I like that rough feller that came in with the orange hair and no shirt and just the pants and the cape made of animal hide. What's his name? I want to talk to him. Let me take care of him, Fergus.
Oh, be my guest.
That old motherfucker, I think Taskell would get along with.
Yeah.
I think we should divide and conquer. Help spread your good word.
Wait, I really hope that doesn't mean I'm gonna have to go talk to the person who hates elves again. I can't tell you how many times I have to hear about someone who's breaking an elf's fingers before I have to to zone out and try to reach a Zen state.
I don't know. Maybe that's a good conversation for Freya. She knows all the progress.
The clan
all
Oakensunder, the Hilda Elvenbane.
Yeah.
Progressive.
I just look at Freya.
Mechanics.
So what? We're just trying to convince them that you're the shit.
Yeah, I would just turn to Freya and be like, for the love of God, at least direct her hatred towards the drow.
But she likes mechanical things and new inventions. You could probably take her for a ride in that sky boat.
You could show her the world.
Shining, shimmering. Oh, look, there's an elf. Pew!
Wait, your dark skins pushed her off the carpet.
Man, what a dark turn to that Aladdin song when Aladdin passed Jasmine a shotgun. They start just chasing protesters.
Oh, Lord, let's not go there.
I know.
Let's stay away from that whole strip. Let's come back. Come back to D&D.
So, anyone who wants to go meet with one of the clan heads, we'll just make this simple, and we'll make it a persuasion or a deception check, depending on your approach. See if you can. This won't necessarily 100% convince them or dissuade them, but it'll just see how you're able to politically skew the narrative towards Fergus's favor.
I have a counter argument.
Okay.
Or proposal.
Okay.
What if I invited shirtless, grumpy guy either on a display of athletics or a hunting trip for survival?
Yeah, you could invite him on a hunting trip.
Okay.
I'm gonna just hobnob with the people that we already kind of have on our side, and just kind of help cement the idea that they've chosen the right side to side with, kind of thing.
Yeah. You can do another persuasion check. This one won't be an advantage for your axe because it's representing over a long period of time. I would argue.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just go ahead and roll that now. Hey.
Yeah, like you needed it.
I mean, I have expertise in it, so I have quite high numbers.
Yeah.
Anybody think I should try to schmooze Fergus?
Guys,
I had Freya. Yeah, I had Taskell hitting the old guy who was. It's rare that he would come to us something like this. Could hit him with religious conversation, whatever, or Freya going with the mechanical people.
Yeah, because we have Oakensunder, which is the hardcore non-traditionalist elven hunters. Clan Highcliff, Old Money, they've had the most kings. They're traditionalists. You could probably also help Taskell with that one because the grudge blades are a traditional thing for dwarves, so it might lend credence.
Although Nolgrim is going a bit non-traditional with it.
Still a bit non-traditional, but you're still kind of embracing traditions of dwarves.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying, because I can already assume we're not going to even try to talk to Clan Grimpire because
No.
they're the ones that are siding with the brother. So
Yeah, that's a waste.
Do we need to bolster anybody among our?
I kind of just did that. So
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then yeah, I'll help. I'll help Tesco.
so maybe like one of you would be having an advantage. I don't know what Gamba wants us to do with that.
Yeah,
Or,
one of you can have advantage, like a help action.
I was going to say, will you let each of us roll, and then we can pick where Nolgrim goes to help that one roll? It's cheating, but
I feel like him with Taskell would probably be a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I have a plus
Okay.
4 to persuasion.
Yeah,
so-
Nolgrim has
I
like a
have
plus
a-
10, I think.
Yeah, I got +10.
So
Yeah,
but I
got
would
a
say
0.
for Taskell, couldn't you talk religion with the old guy?
well, that's
or
why
like,
he's doing advantage with it because
Yeah,
Taskell and
exactly.
Nolgrim would be helping each other.
or history with him?
I got a 0, and I don't really know how to angle this for anything other than persuasion.
I mean,
and
that makes
deception.
sense. These are the people that we don't really know how to talk to, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
it checks out. As I said, even a bad
So-
roll isn't gonna like make it so it fails.
Yeah.
You're just skewing the narrative at the start.
Freya's person loves inventions, so couldn't you go through like Arcana with them, or
Well,
well,
they
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 have
don't.
like mechanical stuff. So
They have some basic mechanical stuff, but they're not inventors. They're woods
ah,
because the woods are where the elves are.
gotcha. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
pitch
you can
other
just
ideas.
give a normal persuasion. I'm just advising you guys not to overthink it.
Yeah.
yeah, we're just doing like
18.
passing
Oh, that
things,
was
so-
good.
Yeah. 18's good.
Yeah, we don't have to
That
try to
was a
like.
good one.
think
Let me tell
like
you,
high.
Fergus hates Drow. He killed one once,
Mm. He killed one.
maybe even 2. Or I think he's killed probably a lot more than that.
Yeah. So overall, some pretty favorable results on these rolls. Fergus, you are now more sure than ever that Clan Forsworn is, unless something serious happens, they're going to be pretty ride or die.
That's good.
Motherfucker, that's bold.
Shale Brew from, well, they're not unfavorable to you. True to their nature, they're probably going to side with whichever side is getting the least amount of votes, is the feeling that you're getting.
Yeah.
'Cause I guess they
Are
just,
they
like,
the contrarian ones you said?
yeah, they're the contrarians. They'll argue every single point.
And I imagine Helmengard, we just don't really know which way they're going to go because they're thinking really hard.
Yeah. They go by their ethics more than anything else.
And you said the Embermanes are like we don't really know what's going on. They have their
they're
own
they're
things
traditionally
going on.
political meddlers, but they seem to be being pretty conservative about their opinions at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Might just
Even
be holding
wi-
back and see which way the winds blow.
Yeah, even with that 27,
Yeah.
which is just a statement of how deliberate they're keeping their mouths shut is.
Oh yeah.
With that 18, Freya, it's a rough on your end with the conversation, but you seem to have gotten out with better terms with Hilda, mainly by speaking about Fergus's past combat with the Drow upon the journey.
How
She spends
we
a-
invaded that keep and pretty much killed every
Oh,
drow
yeah.
there.
She's spending a long time on trying to get a firm answer out you if Fergus is planning to go to war with the Drow or not. It won't affect the result of the roll, whatever you say, but just what you give away.
Let me put it this way. There are forces in play currently that have the Drow looking at Dwarven territory. It may not be Fergus who starts the war, but if you were asking me to place a bet today, I would say there will be war.
Yeah. Thrum, what type of monster do you go hunt?
Oh, what kind of parkas do you like? You like to grab them and slam them, or you like to shoot them from afar?
He's like a classic barbarian axe fighter type of guy.
We'll go get some. What are those hook buggers called? That
The hooked
you can hear
horrors.
'em- Yeah, you can hear them tapping as they go. They're shit for eating, but they're fun for fighting.
Yeah, you have a pretty good time like hunting dad bonding with this guy.
Absolutely, and don't hold it against Fergus. He's not gonna do this with you. But it's not about one single man on the throne. It's about those he keeps around him. Because one single man can't be everything. He can't be everywhere at once. But it's about knowing good people around you. And I hear him tapping. I hear him tapping on your left.
Yeah. So it goes pretty well. You discover during your time, Thrum, that this guy is not unamenable to supporting Fergus. He just all the stuff about Fergus, about him kind of being like, oh, the human ways and that is what turns him off, because he's old school, weapons made of stone and everything like that. Even more traditional, like a level of traditional that it's almost. I mean, there was the joke about it being the Amish. He's basically dwarven Amish. But I would say with that 20, you get the impression from your hunting with him talking about like respecting people through combat and everything that Fergus would earn a lot of sway with that guy if he fought him in a one-on-one duel in one. Because that's the type of guy.
Right.
All right, Fergus. Put that arm I gave you to good work.
I mean, if Thrum would approach him like, fuck it, I'll do it. I need to let out some steam. I can't punch my brother.
And then Nulgrim and Taskell spend some time with Leisure Hammerhand. You are doing a good job putting in a good word for Fergus, but communicating with this guy. His primary concern seems to be stability of the realm. It's whoever could show to be the most stable presence for long term.
And Nolgrim would do great at this, getting into that sort of political discussions of absolutely, it's all about the people, not about the power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, new ideas are fine, but only if they can be shown to work. Otherwise, old ideas are better because they're still working. Is essentially how it is.
Exactly.
Mainly expressing some concern with Fergus's recent expansions to the surface and the human land.
With all the threats down here, it's good to find allies where we can.
Make enemies by the look of it.
I missed that. What was that?
I said, or make enemies by the look of it.
It's a delicate dance.
But the day comes for the first meeting of the moot. A grand audience chamber is within the Palace of Dammerhall, a vast auditorium in which all the hundreds of representatives file in. Taskell is functioning as the master of ceremony, striking the ceremonial hammer upon the plinth which echoes through the hall to bring it to attention. As the defending party, Fergus is allowed to give his opening remarks about why he believes his claim to Dammerhall should be the strongest.
So I'm just kind of like bullet point the thing.
Yeah.
One, point out, obviously of descent of the kings that had ruled Dammerhall for years before its loss, and then have since reclaimed it. Two, we actually are the ones that went through the Underdark to find a back way in to recover it. 3 since we have reclaimed it. We have set about reforging the destroyed land of it. We have began the process of expansion. We have begun the process of reuniting the clans under one banner once more. All of this is done. And keep in mind, and I kind of like keep in mind, this has only been 5 years. By dwarven standard, that's like not that long.
Yeah.
So we've been making great strides, and we've been going steadily. And there always is going to be hiccups, especially when we're trying to regain foothold as we're trying to re-expand and become a solid nation again, rather than just a hodgepodge of what we were before we recovered Dammerhall. And a sudden upheaval of a new leader is just going to disrupt all of it. And that'd basically be what he'd be laying the groundwork about.
Are you supposed to challenge him, or is that later on? I don't know if it's like a structure to it.
You don't have to, find a ground to challenge the other guy to a fight if you want, but probably not.
Oh, I thought. Is it not? I thought he meant challenge his brother.
No. Feared Molten Fist is the type of guy that if you beat him in a fight, he'll respect you more.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying that if he beat his brother in a fight, then he would respect him more.
We're not sure about that, but
I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
And then Tomas takes his stand. He goes, "Brothers and sisters of the mountain, you know me, as I, Tomas, now of Clan Grimpire. In these last decade of me returning to our people, I have fought in many battles by the side of even some of you, the wrought giants of the Screaming Peak, the Underghoul's empires beneath the lands of Lutlav, and countless other battles in the darkness for our people. And in that time I have learned the most important thing, the fabric of our dwarven society, is our traditions. Way of life of we have always lived it. It's with these rules that we hold ourselves above the calamities of the past, the divisions that gave birth to the traitorous Dugar, and allowed us to triumph in the war of wood and stone. I stand here stating my claim as the eldest son for the throne of Dammerhall, not out of a desire for power or claim, because I believe upholding these traditions is what is needed for the prosperity of our people to return to a second golden age. There is no denying that my brother is a hero of our people. Both he and my uncles and my family have done what was previously thought impossible and reclaimed Dammerhall. For that, their legend, as well as his, should be carved into the very stone of the mountain, be remembered and idealized for future generations. My concerns come with the fraying of traditions and of the values that our society holds sacred. The time amongst humans, yeah. My brother's time amongst the humans has weakened his grasp on the values. He consorts with trade deals of the humans of the overland and begins welcoming the economic stability that has sawn other dwarf holds be dragged underneath others' rulership. He has made no secret in the past of his wish to achieve a peaceful Underdark, even if that means communication with the dreaded enemy, the Drow. And he allows a Derogar to walk and live freely within these, our most sacred of halls.
At that point, Nolgrim would shout, "A Durgar that, as opposed to you, risked her life and laid down her life to reclaim Dammerhall for us."
Taskell, you're the master of ceremonies. It's your job to say if someone is allowed to speak out of turn or not. What's the plan? You gonna let it stand, or are you gonna tell Nolgrim to back down?
I'll have
Gonna
to
get out of
calm
control.
down, but I assume,
Mhm.
the jab will be remembered.
Yeah.
But yes, this
Sustained.
ceremony, he must
Mhm.
leave.
Back down, Nolgrim.
Yeah.
The gavel.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a gavel, but it's actually just a full-on warhammer that hit in a magically enchanted stone, which makes it echo even louder.
Ogre
Or
was
do-
settled back, content
Yeah.
that he was able to get that point out there.
How
Mhm.
dare he insult my girlfriend?
That we haven't really
Oh,
put labels
shit.
on it because that's we're not really into, even though that we were kind of a thing for 5 years.
And I'm pretty sure they're living together.
Yeah.
I can't
And
express
cheating
how
on
much
your
you're the worst.
Fiance.
Look, in dwarf
I
terms,
can't
that's married after a weekend bender in Vegas.
Also, hasn't her belly been a little big lately?
Oh God, I can't explain
Oh.
how much you're the worst person for that to be the situation.
Yeah, Nolgrim, give me a Constitution save to see how weak your swimmers are.
Oh
Joking,
God.
don't do that.
And a reflex save. 'cause
I want
my
to see if he
guy
winds up
just
having a
threw
kid
dart
next
at you.
year.
No. If anyone wants to go down that storyline, they're welcome to tell me. I will not relegate that to a saving throw.
We're just fucking around.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't wish
continuing with
that on
the
anyone.
mood
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Continue with the speech. Tomas closes by saying, "My point standing that for stability and the growth of Dammerhall, our traditions must be adhered to. And that is why I am putting my name forward for the throne." And with that, he withdraws. Lots of grumbling and talking about it. Yeah, lots of rabble. After this, about 16 other people who technically have a bloodline claim to the throne take their stand. But I'm not going to cover that because it's all very, very weak.
Cousin Jimmy, get off the stage.
They're all like, "Hey, it's nice to be here."
So for the independent party, we've got
Yeah, it's very much like
Daniel?
it's very much like a presidential primary where it starts with like 16 people, and you're like, most of
Vivek
these
Ramaswamy.
Yeah, none of these fuckers are gonna make it, and they know they're not gonna make it.
The
but
rent
this
in
is their
Dammerhall
time.
is too damn high.
This is their time to put their face out there in front of all these important people, so they're taking a crack.
Yeah.
Why is
Yes,
Tiger
what
King
are the-
here?
What are the next steps? Do we
Um,
formulate a counter argument?
different clan heads will now begin posing questions and thoughts in an open forum discussion, while at this occasionally different members will be able to come up and speak. If any of you would like to speak on behalf of Fergus, you are welcome to register that with Taskell. So if that's something you'd like to do, good roleplay can tilt the board in Fergus's favor.
Kenneth is just like, I'll allow it, but you're on thin ice, pal.
Does that have to be decided right now?
It can. The moot will be lasting multiple days, so we're not going to resolve it within this session. That is definitely true. So you can take some time to think on it. It's nothing's ever going to be a single day, but we're going to be hanging around in season 2 for us at least another session, I would argue.
Yeah,
the discussion-
I'll reserve Thrum. He wouldn't like jump up and
Yeah.
go, "I want to talk right now." But in the future, if he needs to counterpoint, he's definitely gonna do that.
Like,
Yeah.
do you feel we need to counter their little?
I'll fill the air with a little
Quick.
inter-clan discussion of the open forum here. We got Hilda Elvenbane saying, "Well, the fact of the matter is that the drought is a threat, and they are to the north. We know that. Could we really afford to have someone upon the throne who's willing to welcome in their backstabbing ways? Their proclivity for deception is well known." The representative from Clan Forge Sworn Arn goes, "Listen, no one wants to see the dagger ears laid to waste more than me. But the fact of the matter is, you have to be smart about these kind of things, and you strike when you're ready. Sometimes that means you have to play patty cake a little bit. The king understands that. Helmengard speaks up. But Lily, can we afford deception? Is that not what Tomas was speaking about in the desertion of our values as society? It is our bounds to honor and truth that separate us from the drow and would allow us to triumph over them. Kerfuffle, kerfuffle, kerfuffle. That's how the crowd goes.
Nolgrim would like to chime in and say, "You forget that, or do not forget that we are rebuilding our city. We do not want to crush the people under the tax burden of waging war so soon, especially against an army as expansive as the Drow. We bide our time. We
And
wait.
the drow are old. They live for hundreds of years. They move slowly, and their borders haven't changed in an age. If there's any opponent we have time against, it's the drow."
And Nolgrim will say, all this talk about the enemies out just beyond our borders, we are at a time we need to focus on the people. And kind of settle it at that.
Feared Molten Fist scoffs, goes, "High talk from the war thing that beds Dergar."
How many times did you die in defense of Dammerhall?
Ooh, lots of murmurs about that.
Boom, bitch.
Yeah, when they point that out and Olgrim says, I was like, he would chime in, he's like, she had no requirement to help us reclaim Dammerhall, but she, as well as, and he would like talk about like not like point out Ivy, but like mention like we also had allies with the Deep Gnomes. We had allies with, and like mention like the fungus people and everything. Like all of these would not traditionally be standing with dwarves if we were to follow the traditions that he's so pushing. If we did not bend to what would normally be tradition, we would not have Dammerhall within our hands now.
We'd have never even made it halfway there.
This is ridiculous talk. Those of you who helped us, stand now. I don't see a single clan member of a dwarf standing. So shut this talk up.
So just vast amount of shoutings because you just insulted literally everyone's honor over there.
Bring it on! I'm right here. Bring it on!
Who got tomatoes in this courtroom? Why are they all over me?
He's the bad cop. Okay.
Yeah. It's like from narratively, it's a very valid like role he's doing, but everyone
he's playing the heel.
Are you calling me a fucking coward?
No, I'm calling you an idiot. Goddamn right I am.
As I'm sure Taskell eventually bangs the mallet gavel to get everyone to quiet down. Eldrin Boldsong of Clan Emberbane speaks up and says, "Well, I cannot further speak directly onto this matter moment. I would condemn Fjord Moltensong of Clan Cinderax for doing such a besmirchment of character of Warthane Nulgrim of Dammerhall. His judgment on these matters should be held in the highest esteem above all of them, not only as one of the heroes that reclaimed Dammerhall, but as a grudge blade empowered by the Ancestor Temple itself. The first grudge blade in an age." Lots of murmuring. "If any should be fit to judge someone based upon their actions, it would be Nulgrim. So I would ask Fjord for an apology for such a besmirchment of character." Fjord, I'll besmirch it upside your face, you old piece. And he's like his aides are holding him back. He's got some barbarian levels. So that's how the moot is going at the moment.
Sounds good. We've had a few fist fights. A couple of people holding
Right.
people back.
Yeah, it
Seems
wouldn't
like
be
a
a
dwarven
dwarven
party.
mood if somebody didn't try to throw a punch.
All right. Brothers punching brothers. Well, not those two brothers, because that'd be regicide.
Oh yes, it wouldn't end until then.
Mm-hmm.
But all the rest.
Mm.
Does it die down for the night, or are we still going?
It starts dying down. If anyone has any statements they would like to make, you can do that. Other than that, you might have to call it for the night.
But it's not done here, right? We've
No,
got like
no.
another day. Okay, good.
Several days. Dwarves wouldn't decide something that quickly. Lots of argument.
I would say what I was going to suggest something, but I was thinking about it. When he was like talking about being held back after like told apologize Nolgrim, I've already been informed that me beating him in combat might help win him over. So I would use that as an excuse to be like, you insult his honor, you insult mine, and basically like challenge him to defend his own comments in the ring, essentially. And I would offer my
take
hand
this
to fight
outside?
him. Yeah, basically, do you want to take this outside and apologize to my friend, or do I have to beat the fuck out of you?
Kick the geezer's
fight,
ass.
fight.
So the king wishes to cross axes. Very well, your majesty, but on one condition. We do this battle in the old ways.
You're going to want me to take that.
I just look over. I just lean over to Thrum. What are the old ways?
Thrum, the old ways
Knuckles
would be,
and spit, son.
yeah, basically single weapon, no armor, next to a lava flow.
Not to death, though, right?
Depends.
Depends who wins.
To the victor the decision. It's one of those, doesn't have to be to the death, but it's to who yields.
Yeah.
And traditionally non-magical weaponry, so you can't use the intense OP axe.
Yeah. But having a mithril axe would be fine, right?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Yeah, just so I could use my dex, because otherwise I'm
Are we
fucked.
going to ask about the rules on that arm?
I imagine I can't use
Nope.
it like go gadget arm, but I can still use it to fight with.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you can, man. You're down an arm. You've only got one arm. You can use your other fake arm. Look, if he doesn't lay out the rules, you don't need to lay them out.
So when he says that, it's like, very well, I'll accept your challenge. But when I'm through thrashing you, I expect you to be on your hands and knees asking for Nolgrim's forgiveness. A true apology from your soul.
He's a barbarian, son. Don't push it too far.
I'm trying to rile him up.
No, make him apologize to She's not.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Make him apologize to the Duragar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suddenly forget her name. What's her name?
Ignis.
Ignis. Yeah, make him apologize to Nolgrim and Ignis.
There you go.
So I'm just taking a step back over towards Tassel and going, well, shit, they really took this bull by the horns.
You claim that we're
She's
champions
not
of
angry.
Dammerhall, but Ignis is just as much of a champion as the rest of us. You besmirch her, you besmirch all of us. So do you want to take this challenge, or do you want to run away like a little bitch?
Got
They
it.
might bit off more than they can chew, but
Yeah.
we'll have to have faith in Kinglet.
He
I'm
ain't
gonna-
failed me yet. That's his thing. He's the underdog.
All right, Your Majesty. Tomorrow, axes at the core. Enjoy a meal. It'll be the last one you'll have with your teeth.
Drinks are on me.
And with that, thunderous cheers from all, despite all of the arguing.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone's gonna get to witness a
Uses
fight.
the bar
Everyone's probably
fight
like
real quick.
happy as shit.
Oh yeah. Drinks.
Yeah, Nolgrim would, once they kind of depart and kind of are, separated from the mess of politicians, Norgrim would put his arm just over Fergus's shoulder and just not really say anything, but just like, that was good. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I fully expect to be hurt like the motherfucker. So
Thrum would get everyone riled up with the drinks are on me, go over to the barbarian that he took hunting. Let's have drinks. Let's have shots. Let's have rounds to tomorrow's fight. And he is going to keep that barbarian up drinking into the night as long as he can, while he knows that Fergus will not partake and may go back to his humble abode and have a sip of wine. He's going to get this guy shit-faced and in a roundabout way, not challenge him, but could we have a little bit of a drinking contest?
Sure.
Knowing he's immune to poison, but eventually it's got
Not immune, right?
Resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why they drink so much. It takes them a lot longer to get drunk.
Mhm.
Yeah. But once you breach that level, god damn, it hurts.
Then it just spirals.
All right. Let's do it this way. This will be some Constitution saves, which will
Well,
be at
that's-
advantage for both of you.
Yeah, but he's a barbarian, so he's got it as a skill, so he'll
Mhm.
eventually statistically win out.
Well, I mean, I think you're both barbarians, to be fair.
Wait.
I started as a ranger, so my
Ah.
saves are strength and dex.
Uh,
But
Wait.
It's okay.
Stop.
stop. I'm stopping.
Does that work on other people? Let me see. Yes, as long as I'm within 30 feet of
Another
you.
creature you can see within 30 feet of me makes an ability. All right. All right. Well, don't use it yet. Let's have some opposed rolls, I guess.
Yeah, he
I know. I was
just
just putting that
cheering
the
him on.
text up on screen.
Hell yeah.
Simple
Like-
3 rolls.
All right. With advantage or no?
Yes, you'll be both taking this at advantage because you're dwarves.
All right. We want to alternate. You hit one, I'll hit one.
25.
Oh, 20. Give me that flash, baby.
it's a tie.
Die.
Nice.
Round 2.
Double down.
Oh, I don't know why I did that once. Hold on.
Is that right?
24.
God damn it. That's, I gotta, yeah, he's gonna
Ooh,
whoop my
flashes
ass.
just don't even help there.
Mhm.
Nope. All right. I'm down 1. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
What do we want to go to? Down 3?
Down 3, yeah.
Sure.
So
I'm down 1.
Jesus.
Oh my god, I can't.
Double
I can't beat
25.
that, so I'm down 2.
Yeah.
Alright.
this
Trying
is
to
representing
gain some-
many drinks.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a very deep
Mm-hmm.
drinking competition, but Thrum
Wait.
unfortunately had no drink for a long time.
Wait.
because-
If I give you a flash of genius on that last one, it's a tie.
It's a tie, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can. How many times can you do it?
I can do that 5 times.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Even with
If-
flashes,
if-
it's down 2 right now with that last roll.
Yep.
I think it's
Okay.
only down 1.
No, because the
No, I'm
12
down
and then
2.
the 16 that you rolled.
I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna lose. There's no way I can beat.
Yeah,
him.
the
His-
plus
his
9 is
con
potent, but it's just trying
Yeah.
to get him drunk.
So
Try
the
try to
bonus of
score
+4
points where
and
you
20
can.
Constitution will do that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Can't do anything but 27 and 16.
Last one.
No, it's not the last. Yeah, it is the last one.
28 and 18.
Yeah, you
I
can't give me a
help
10. Yep.
So
Thrum goes into a drinking meditative state where he's just sitting at the table,
Mhm.
and as they're talking to him, going, "All right, Thrum, next shot, he's just sitting.
that. Meanwhile,
Not
Freya's
He is
right next to him
numb
going,
with it.
for the love of God, drink some water, Thrum. Drink some water.
He has calcified within his rock body, and he's just frozen at the table. Beef pickle.
It's funny too because the guy had an ability called Indomitable, where twice a day he can re-roll a saving throw and take the better result, but he didn't seem to need it.
Drum's
No,
looking a little smashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drum's as you said earlier, he's stoned.
Mm-hmm.
Stone drunk.
Yep, stone drunk. Like he's just sitting at the table, immovable. But luckily, because he has a rock hard candy shell, he doesn't fall over. He just sits there all night long.
I did have a question, Gombo.
Yeah.
When we do asking the people who would know, when we're fighting, is inherent magical abilities considered cheating?
No, just as long as it's not like full on spellcasting.
Yeah, because I have that innate ability to do mage armor on myself.
Yeah,
and the ability to the ability to hunter's mark or technically.
Yeah, that's all fine.
Yeah, but not casting spells, I assume.
Yeah. If you're as a Razak, I cast Fireball Dimension Door, then it's gonna be all okay. Freaking nerd. But yeah, no, just that stuff.
Okay, just checking.
Mm-hmm. So Thrum
didn't drink enough water. He's gonna be hungover tomorrow.
Thrum is going to be ossified in the palace drinking hall. Beard had a good time. He's not holding anything against you. So.
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic.
It was a legit drinking competition,
Yeah.
Turned into one. We kept everyone out. We kept everyone up late.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question, Gombo?
What's everyone else doing for this night? Because presumably you would have a space in the palace if you wanted to, because the fight and everything morning and whatever you want to do.
What are the old way rules, dual rules? Are they are there seconds to just kind of make sure?
I think it's just 1-on-1 over lava.
Right. But I mean, if he yields,
watch. Everyone just gather around and watches first to yield. Really, it's very informal. It's just wailing on each other.
Okay.
Really, only clan Cinderax keeps these traditions going. Honor duels do sometimes have them indoors, but the more modern rules are much more regimented and everything like that.
Oh yeah, we're going old school with real weaponry and everything.
It's we get into loincloths or naked if you prefer, and then just beat the shit out of each other.
Okay, if he fights me naked, I might be out. I don't need to have him fight with an axe and a mace, okay?
He's got a long sword.
There'll be a leaf.
Stop hitting that in my face. No more. I'm out.
There is no honor in this.
Just a single leaf on a string.
So, yeah,
and it's a palm tree leaf because he's hung like a racehorse.
Pilgrim's probably just staying confined to his quarters for the most part. Just unsure of what tomorrow will bring.
Yeah.
Fergus is just going. He just after the whole thing, and he just goes to his room. He's like, I'm just gonna go to bed.
I'm gonna die.
Tomorrow. He's like, I'll think about it tomorrow when I'm about to die.
I just agreed to bare knuckle bark someone. That's not what I usually do in a fight.
I think we use axes technically, but
yeah. Yeah, the axe.
Or hammers, technically.
Warhammers.
Yeah, no one's gonna stop you from putting a heavy object on a stick in a barbarian fight.
Wait, do you have to use a warhammer?
No, you can use an axe. I'm just saying it's allowed to use a warhammer.
Okay.
Or flail.
Okay, this guy's gonna use a warhammer.
No, chains are too high tech.
Yeah, you have to forge those
download
links.
That.
Mm.
Yeah, they're not up that tech tree yet.
Use a brick.
Freya, Taskell, what are you doing?
Probably not much.
Would you say you're bedding down in the palace, or are you heading out to the city? I mean, I don't know if you guys normally live in the palace or not.
But stay in the palace.
Pascal choosing to skip his normal nightly routine of pray, drink, fuck. He's got that embroidered upon a pillow.
I'd probably
make baby too.
I was gonna say he's
prob-
trying to have a second child.
I probably just do whatever my normal research I can do here, because it's probably just more of a chore for me than anything. I have to deal with this little prick who wants to be the king.
Yeah.
Actually, if I could revise mine a bit, I would seek out the was it the Longbeard of Embermain, or which Embermain kind of?
Oh yeah, the clan. He's clan head and Longbeard, because there's 3 roles in each clan, and sometimes they have the same.
He would
elder and leader.
He would offer to share a drink with him as a token of appreciation for standing up for honor.
Yeah. Can have a drink within his quarters and everything like that.
So,
is this just a polite thing, or was there a specific scene that you wanted to do?
No specific scene, just
Yeah.
polite and showing his appreciation.
Mm-hmm. All right. I need an advantage Constitution saving throw from Thrum. All right, yeah, 20 is plenty high.
20.
Yep.
I didn't die.
Oh no, you weren't at risk at that.
Just sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having a throbbing "I'm never gonna drink again" hangover, you have a one of those little horrible back of your head around all day hangovers, which you don't know if it's worse or not.
Though I am suddenly reminded of the drinking competition with the dwarves and Omar.
So you get out of your drunken meditation, Thrum. You awake in the drinking hall, surrounded by several other unconscious dwarves who passed out in their revelry. Feared Molten Fist is not one of them. You have the equivalent of 2 levels of exhaustion from just a hangover.
Damn it. Damn it.
I told you to drink water. I told you.
I don't know about y'all, but
you are
no one here right now. I would definitely back that man for king.
But yeah, you are otherwise in the empty hall, surrounded by passed out people. Do you wish to? You get the feeling it's still the middle of the night. Do you want to try to maybe find a bed?
Is it I don't know. Is it a tavern or is it a?
No, this is the drinking hall within the palace.
No, I'm. Look, this is, I swear, the first time this has ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a drinking problem. I don't drink too much. I'm get up, stretch my legs, put down a good bit of coin because I know I owe it. If I see any of the bartenders,
Again, I
folks
think
around,
this is the castle that you're just being taken care of.
It's all right. I tip my folks, and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna stretch my legs. I'm gonna straight. Man, you gotta get up and walk it off. Gotta get up and walk it off. So I'm gonna walk it off. So I'm head out and catch some fresh air, and then go back to a place where I normally sleep.
All right. You exit the drinking hall and you're walking through the palace corridor. You nod to a passing servant, trying your best not to look like you're about to blow stones. And as you're going towards one of the balconies to get some fresh air, you notice there is a dwarven guard leaning up against the wall, sitting down, where he should be standing up with his weapon at the ready at the post.
Is that at the balcony that I'm heading out onto?
Yeah, near the balcony. Yeah.
Head out there for a breath of fresh air, lean up against the balcony and go, "Hey, son, you gotta look a little bit more alive than that."
His eyes are open. He is not moving, and he is not breathing.
Hey there. Hey.
You look down. There's blood in his beard where his throat has been slit.
Do I have my flail on me?
Sure.
All right. Pull out my flail.
Are you a flayfly?
Shit.
I thought you were an axe guy.
I don't even remember. Yeah, no, Thrum is what's Thrum do?
He's used to playing as other dwarf.
Yeah.
Look, it gets confusing when you've had this many drinks, god damn it. I just woke up, coming out of the party.
He's hungover
Look
and
at-
switched characters.
That's why I asked, do I have a flail on me? I was counting on you knowing.
You have
All right.
you have everything that's on your character sheet.
All right. He pulls Scalebane axe
Mhm.
and shouts, "To the ready! Alarm!" and grabs this young man, sees if there's anything alive in him. Does he think he can plug a
This-
wound here, or is this guy
this guy's
long gone?
He's already dead. It looks like his throat was slit by a serrated blade. Ragged wound.
He's gonna just start shouting at the loudest that Thrum can shout, go into his largest Thrum form,
Mm-hmm.
and start splashing as water splashes all around the area, waking up everybody like the most annoying giant siren of water ever.
Do you do your primeval awareness?
You mean to
Detect
check
dwarves
if
and drow.
there are dwarves or drow around?
Yeah.
Or dwarven elves, I guess, yeah.
Honestly, he didn't think to do that because he's
Okay.
pretty drunk still.
Mm-hmm.
And he just went into alert phase. His mind centered on a whole bunch of dwarves fighting over the throne. We got throat slitting. So
Mhm.
he didn't even think about elves right there.
Fair enough.
Yep.
As you're teleporting around, screaming to arms, you are finding several more dead guards around the palace, but also several alive ones that you're getting into action.
All right, he's going to beeline towards the king.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I didn't realize I was in the palace. I thought I was in like a drinking
Holy
hall. but
shit.
I know, we
you
tried to
did
visit you
say-
a couple times.
You did say
Guys.
twice. that
Guys, the
we're
fucking
in the-
vault with Bindrak, Nutcrack Bindrak come back.
You're the only one concerned about that.
Oh, it's not like there's another heir that can open the vault here now.
Right, but okay.
Did we leave that loophole?
I mean, it's built in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we can exactly be like, okay, I'm going to just disable this. It's not like a passcode we put in.
Right.
All right, that's not Thrum's concern. He's jumping around, waking up guards, and heading towards the king.
Fergus, what's your passive perception?
22, unless I have advantage, but I think it's higher.
Yeah, I don't think you have advantage while you
I
are
know.
asleep.
I know.
That is a crazy high passive perception.
I had expertise in perception, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 12 plus 10, so 22. He's an edgy little fuck, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be offended. I have a plus 11.
Mm-hmm. So Thrum, you arrive outside the king's quarters, and you see the 6 Dammer Guard normally stationed there appear to be dead.
Well, he's just roaring and going insane at this point. Mechanically, he wouldn't be in the Inferno,
Yeah.
but just looking at him, he is a raging hot inferno of magma, leaping towards that, splashing into water, turning into an inferno, splashing into water, turning into an inferno, over and over again as he makes his way towards the king's residence.
Okay, so Fergus, there's several explosions outside your door. That definitely wakes you up.
Yeah, I wake up like,
Yes.
what the fuck, for the love of God? I just run to the door and open it up. Body slumps over.
You see Thrum partially on fire, surrounded by dead guards.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the benefit of doubt, Thrum. What the fuck is going on?
To arms! Your shitty ass fucking armor, and let's go. Being invaded. Stay in here with me until we get everyone else.
Yeah, I guess armor up and get the fuck in gear.
Dozens dead. Dozens dead. Stay together.
Internally, he's like, people always give me shit about my armor. I can put it on faster than all of you with your fucking heavy ass shit.
Do you have it on yet? Those pajamas?
I just throw my pajamas at him, cover his eyes while I put on my armor.
Fucking helping.
But yes, we move out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do you really have your own armor right now? Because that was very quick for it to get on.
I mean, leather armor you can put on in like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Like when you get higher armor, it takes longer. Like plate armor takes like a full like half hour to don. I'm pretty sure.
So where we'll end the session here is Nulgrim. You are having a nightcap with Mr. Boldsong. Kind of just enjoying pleasantries when you kind of hear distant echoes of shouting going down the halls. What's your reaction to just hearing?
It would be to basically rush up and just see what the shouting's about.
You open the door and you see a guard slumped dead with a splash of blood across the wall in front of you. And you have barely time to register that when a globe of magical darkness falls over you. And I'll roll the attack rolls start of next session.
Okay.
Huzzah.
Told you we get into some weapon swinging.
So is this still the night before? No refresh spells or I guess I didn't use any spells that day.
You didn't really use any spells.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, that's where we will end for now.